Hello there, good morning. It's the 20th day of November 2025, and we thank God for this beautiful Thursday morning. I hope you're doing very well, but welcome aboard Ghana's most comprehensive and, of course, most exciting morning show, GH Today, here on GHOne television. So call a friend to tell another friend that we are live on your channel. Quite a number of things to discuss today. We'll also be getting into the newspapers shortly and have conversations for you with a litany of interviews as well for your viewing pleasure. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. But let's kickstart this morning with our quote of the day. And this morning's quote is from Abraham Lincoln, who says, I always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other. Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other. And that's the quote from Abraham Lincoln this morning to start our day. And of course, with that quote done, it is time to also learn and improve our vocabulary. So let's check out the word of the day.
Today's word is sussed, sussed. It's an adjective. Someone who is sussed is well informed about many things. Let's exemplify it. It takes someone who is sussed to be a good morning show host, especially a political show host. Sussed.
Okay, so we are improving our vocabulary, adding up to our grammar as well, and helping us to communicate a lot better with others. Sussed is the word of the day. But it's a Thursday, so why don't you do some throwback and enjoy some good music with our video of the day. East of old school mixed with the new school, and that's our videos of that day. But it's time to check out what is happening in the legal fraternity. Mutala Inusa is here with Kodjo today. The man Mutala Inusa has joined me. Mutala, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're doing well.
Joshua, Kodjo Mensah. By spirit, I'm fine. How about you?
By grace.
Good,
Same grace.
Good. How was your night?
Oh, it was good. But for one person who I'm not too sure whether her night was good or not, it would have to be the former Chief Justice. Because yesterday we heard from the ECOWAS court.
Yes.
It's good for her.
So I'll break things down and then we really understand where we are.
Absolutely.
And then the context in which the ECOWAS court indeed spoke. So we do know that this whole thing started in April, 22nd April, where the president suspended her because of petitions received. Article 146 committee was formed. Justice Gabriel Paman was the chair, and some four others, including Justice Samuel Adibu-Esiedu, a justice of the Supreme Court. Fast forward, the three petitions, one of them was concluded, and recommendations were made, findings were made, recommendations came, and the recommendation of the committee was for her to be removed. President acted on that as per the laws of Ghana, the constitution, the ultimate constitution, or the ultimate law that we have, which is the Constitution, and then removed Justice Tokonu from office on 1st September 2025. But even before that, in between times, since the committee started its work on the 15th of May, we've seen avalanche of actions, some at the Human Rights Court, some at the Supreme Court, and then also the High Court also. Then the ECOWAS court also came in at the point in time in July. And remember that at some point in time, there was a latest one that she filed where she is seeking for default judgment because the state has not responded to her action before the ECOWAS court. Right. And they were of the view that the state is out of time. The time frame within which to file a response is elapsed. And once it's elapsed, it means the state doesn't have any responses to her action, and so she went to the ECOWAS court asking for a default judgment, and she is seeking damages in the sum of $10 million yes. And all of that. That one is there. Yesterday, you note that the first time that they appeared before the ECOWAS court to make an argument, she, on top of the substantive matter, she was seeking an interim measure. And the interim measure, when you come to our part, you would refer it as an interim interlocutory injunction. So you are saying that there's some urgency that the court must look at. And the urgency that she is referring to was to the effect that the committee sitting is ongoing. She has been suspended from office. She doesn't have access to her office and all of that. So she is asking the ECOWAS court to say that, look, Ghana, hold on. Allow her to come to office. Let's finish investigating the human rights violations that she has raised before, if anything, we can go on. The case was adjourned indefinitely, but the committee's work proceeded, and then eventually she was removed from office. Now, what has become of that case? Zimut, we'll yet find out. Yesterday, the ECOWAS court sat, and when they sat, the ECOWAS court was making a ruling, and the ruling was in respect of that interim measure that she was asking that stop Ghana, ask Ghana to put me back in office, ask the Ghana to put the committee's work on hold and all of that until you are done dealing with my substantive matter. The AG raised a preliminary legal objection and said that, look, these matters are pending before court. These matters, one of them is before the ECOWAS Supreme Court, and so she has not exhausted the internal mechanisms or the internal measures.
Right.
The ECOWAS court doesn't have the jurisdiction. So yesterday, when the ECOWAS court was making a ruling, they first dealt with the issue of the objection, which was making reference to the fact that the ECOWAS court doesn't have jurisdiction to deal with the matter before it. They said that, look, they have seen the action filed by the former Chief Justice, and they think that it borders on human rights violation. There's a prima facie evidence that has been established that the issue borders on human rights violation. And the ECOWAS court is seized with the authority to deal with issues of human rights violation. So that objection is overruled. Then the second leg is with respect to the interim measure, which she was asking that stop Ghana, ask them to put me back in office, ask them to stop the committee's work and all of that. The court said, look, and she raised the issue of urgency. Urgency means that something is happening, you need to immediately, it's imminent. The ECOWAS court was of the view that the committee's work started on the 15th of May. You filed your action in July. You yourself have not demonstrated urgency. As a judicial officer, you ought to understand the meaning of urgency in matters of this nature. And the court said by her own showing, she has not demonstrated that there's some urgency that she want the court to protect. On the basis of that, the court dismissed that request for that interim measure. So what is left is a substantive matter that later on she filed for default judgment in which it was demanding for $10 million. The court has ordered the AG, has directed the AG to file its response within 30 days from yesterday. And once the response or the defense has been filed, then a hearing will be conducted into the substantive matter. So then we'll know whether the ECOWAS court will ask Ghana to put her back in office, or the ECOWAS court will determine that, yes, action has been taken by event already. The decision from the ECOWAS court are not binding on Ghana. It's a discretion. As we speak, they have not ratified that, look, whatever decision that comes out from the ECOWAS court, Ghana is going to be bound by it. No. It is, as we speak, any decision. So they can say, put her back, but it's a decision for Ghana to take all of that. Right. So moments after, the Attorney General has been speaking. So let's look at the very first, Deputy Attorney General, Dr. GHOne side. So he put something on his Facebook wall, said the ECOWAS court this morning, so this morning was referring to yesterday. Dismissed Mrs. Justice Gertrude Tokonu's application for interim measures. So interim, it means that is not a substantive one. The court stated that the application did not satisfy the criteria for a grant of interim measures. More particularly, the court held that, okay, let's look at the other one. The applicant's own conduct defeats her claim of imminent and irreparable harm. The court is therefore satisfied that the applicant has not demonstrated the existence of imminent or exceptional circumstances that would justify the urgency of the application filed almost 3 months after the act complained of. So that is basically what the ECOWAS court is saying, that look, if you are talking about urgency, you don't wait nearly 3 months, you don't wait almost 3 months to come and raise the issue of urgency. Immediately it started, you just have to come. And that was the basis that the ECOWAS court dismissed that particular request. But what is clear is that the substantive matter would have to be investigated, and the AG has 30 days to be able to file, because the ECOWAS court is saying that they have jurisdiction to deal with the matter filed by the former Chief Justice.
Interesting. So while that is happening on the ECOWAS front here in Ghana, the courts are also busy, because Nana Grada, who's been in the cooler for some time, it looks like her woes would not be softened anytime soon, because she has another case that involves sharing nude photos of an alleged man of God, or a man of God. Talk to me about that case.
Yeah, man of God yourself, right?
We are all men of God, right? Are you not a man of God?
So it doesn't mean once you are in the cooler, if you have done something else, that one will be brushed off.
Right.
Once you are in the cooler and there's another act, you still have to come back and face it. If that one also doesn't go your way, you also go.
So for those who don't believe, she's actually in jail?
Yes.
She's in jail?
She's in jail.
Okay.
Yes, and that Grada is in jail. But if you see, so the videos that you are seeing now was when this very issue started.
Yes.
If you see Nana Grada now on the streets, I can tell you it will be difficult for you to recognize her.
But she's looking brighter.
You know, one thing about the prisons is that when you go to the prisons, and that is why when your freedom is taken away from you, it is very difficult. At home, you can do everything that you like. You can choose the dress you want to wear. You can choose whatever thing you want to do, even food that you want to eat. You can. You decide literally what you want to do, whether you even want to walk barefoot. You decide what you want to do. But in the prisons, it is so restricted. You don't use your normal things you use at home in the prisons. So she normally will come to court in the top skirt and blouse, right? That's how we call it. So top white, top, then there's a skirt, black, then scarf. That's how you get the women. That's how they come to court. And then they go and all of that. So yesterday, Nana Grada, and she looks very fair in this video, right? Or you see,
very light skin.
You see her in court, you ask questions. You ask yourself questions. She's changed.
Oh, the color is gone.
Yeah, the color is gone. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, the color is gone. But that's not even the matter. The issue is that yesterday she appeared before the Criminal Court 3 Justice Mensah Nieji. And this issue has to do with the alleged circulation of nude pictures of a pastor, a Sopho Biblica. And she has initiated a plea bargaining with the Office of the Attorney General. And once you have initiated that action, it's for the AG to look at it, sit down, and whether to agree or not. The indication to the court is that they are yet to strike a deal. And so that particular case is still hanging. And once it is hanging, the court then, once there's no agreement, it means that the trial would have to be looked into and all of that.
Right.
So this case has been adjourned to December 3rd.
Okay.
So Nana Grada will be back in court again, and then the court will now know whether there's a chance for plea bargaining to success in that particular proposal or not. And the AG will then have to come and tell the court that, where we have gotten to, we think that there's a way, or where we have gotten to, negotiation breaks down, and so we want the case take it normal course and all of that. But what is clear is that Nana Grada yesterday was in court, and she was in court, and she will have to come back again
on December 3. Interesting.
She's still in lawful custody.
Right. And how about the SkyTrain case? Because we know that witnesses have started singing.
Yeah.
I like
in the voice of the Attorney General,
yes.
Dr. Dominic Ayeni, yes. They've started singing. Yes. He has some figurative words that he normally will use. On the next time I see him, I asked him whether he was a literature student when he was in secondary school and all, because these are terms that literature students will use most often. And so Professor Christopher Miekunfi, Solomon Asamoah, the SkyTrain matter, $2 million, they have pleaded not guilty, and the trial is on. The first prosecution witness is testifying, and yesterday the lawyers were supposed to subject him to further, the lawyers of the accused persons, especially the first accused, Solomon Asamoah, and his lawyers led by Victoria Bath. But yesterday the court did not sit. The judge, we understand, had a training program she's attending. So yesterday that particular case has been adjourned to the 10th of December. So there was no action yesterday in SkyTrain.
Absolutely. We're waiting for December 10th to get to know exactly how things pan out.
That's true.
But finally, let's talk about Major Mahama's murder case.
Before I come to Major Mahama, Charles Bisu.
Oh, yes, the OSP.
The
OSP versus Charles Bisu as well.
Yes. So yesterday, I did indicate that there was going to be a ruling, and that ruling is to the effect that the OSP wants their first witness testify in camera, because they are of the view that he is an investigative journalist or undercover investigator, and so they do not want his identity out there. The lawyers of the accused person have vehemently opposed to that and said, look, that cannot happen. This is somebody who has done an investigation about persons that he thinks that have done wrong. Let him sit in open court in the full glare of the public, speak, testify, and let's hear you. There's no danger at all. Justice Audrey Kokuvite will have to make a ruling. Yesterday was the day she was expected to make the ruling, but because of the fact that the earlier reason that I gave, she is on a training program. So yesterday the court did not say. So this one has been adjourned to the 9th of December 2020.
It looks like December will be a very busy month, because the 3rd we are hearing Agrada, 9th OSP versus Charles Bisu, and then on the 10th we are doing SkyTrain.
I swear.
Wow. I don't envy you at all. But let's talk about Major Mahama's murder case as well.
Yes, somebody would have thought that that case is dead and gone. Yes. Trial began. 14 persons were arraigned. Remember, you interviewed 2 of them who were acquitted and discharged after the full trial. At the end, 12 of them were not lucky. They were convicted, sentenced to life imprisonment because of the changes in the criminal laws, the amendment that had been made. Previously, it would have been death sentence for murder and all of that. And Director, please pause for me, where we have Major Mahama and the other accused. So this one is not too clear. So that is the assemblyman who is said to have abetted the whole crime. I'm saying crime because it has been proven in court. And now she was convicted and sentenced for abetment.
Okay, so that was what he was convicted for.
But the punishment is the same. So in the video, he was not seen throwing stones, hitting Major Mahama with anything. But the evidence shows that he mobilized the group who ultimately took the life of the late Major Mahama. And he was found guilty for abetment. He has appealed against his conviction and sentence. Today, the Court of Appeal will be sitting on his appeal, and a determination will be made as to whether he walk free, or the court will say that the evidence showed that you are guilty of abetment. So William Barr is at the Court of Appeal today, and I will see whether he will be lucky to have that particular sentence overturned, or conviction and sentence overturned, or the court will say that it is what it is. So that is one of the cases that we should keep an eye on.
Forward to. Omutala, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I know it's a busy day for you as well, and we get to find out how things run out.
I'll see you on the flip side.
Mutala Inusa Kwenote there bringing us court today. I will take a breather and return with Inside Out. Stick and stay. All right, thank you so much for staying on with us this morning. It's time to get into Inside Out, and Ibrahim Al-Hassan, Head of Current Affairs here at the EIB Network, is joining me. Ibrahim, good morning.
Good morning, Joshua.
Yeah, I hope all is well, sir.
We're good. We're shouldering on. Yeah, we're pushing on. Yeah, it's almost weekend, right?
Yes, it's Thursday.
So we have tomorrow.
It's pre-weekend.
Exactly. And that's what you look forward to. You know, in this country and on this continent, you look at the small things to hold on to, to keep you going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of them is Thursday. It's just one day to the weekend.
Trust me, I don't know where this is coming from. But then,
yes.
While we are looking forward to the weekend, we've seen some developments also happen with the woman, the 32-year-old woman. And in fact, I was surprised when I found out that she's only 32 years, who was brutally abused by a man believed to be her husband. And the story is unfolding because now we're hearing from the woman herself. And if you see the scars on her body and how somebody's son has decided to disfigure someone's daughter to that extent, it baffles my mind. And to know that this incident did not happen simply because earlier we did not have the full details.
Exactly.
And so we had conversations and said, why is she there if this is happening to her? Only to find out that in fact she had left.
Yes.
5 months she had left the man because she couldn't stand the abuse. And it's quite intriguing to know that among all the things the man did to her, it includes the fact that he accused her of infidelity and had to pepper her.
Can you imagine?
Somebody's...
See, so in the details that are emerging, the one that's so appalling to me is the fact that on not just once, and probably not just 2 occasions, she had gone to report
to the police.
Tesano police, right?
In fact, she mentions that the Ofankor Barrier Police, they have reported on different occasions.
Okay.
Nothing has been done. Then they had to escalate it to Tesano Police 4 times. Nothing happened. And so she's lost complete trust in the system. And I don't blame her.
That's my disappointment. The fact that police officers heard this woman share her ordeal with them.
Probably
not
privately. Them the bruises.
Not privately. This is a woman who has walked to a police station to lodge a complaint. This is a woman who is crying for salvation because what we witnessed in the video could have been the end of her life.
It could have.
And her blood will have been on all the police officers in the chain who knew about her ordeal. What, you think she came to the police station to tell you a tale? No, she came crying for help. That's a save our soul message, right? They did nothing. Came to Tesano, nothing. And this woman packs out. And then the husband places a call to her that your kids are sick. So come and attend to them. No, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Per her account, that's a lie.
Yeah. She came and saw the kids were playing. She said, why you telling me the kids are sick?
You see why yesterday was International Men's Day, but nobody paid attention?
Oh, of course.
It's because people like
found
Odate
out
Lamte.
Around 9 p.m.
Yes. You see? People like Odate Lamte.
And you know, it's not surprising that the police still tell us they don't know the whereabouts of the woman.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's all over social media.
Yeah. The woman is granting interviews.
Gender minister has gone to see the woman. The security, the bodyguard of the gender minister is a police officer. Yet Ghana Police Service say they don't know the whereabouts. And in the statement, in fact, let it not be like I am the one saying this. So this is a statement that was released by the police service when yesterday, late afternoon, after the gender minister had gone to be with the woman, spend time with her, among others. And I'm reading the point 4. Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service would like to once again urge the victim or anyone with credible information on her whereabouts to contact the nearest police station. This same nearest police station that she went to, and then no justice whatsoever was granted to her. And it was sad because it wasn't just her. In fact, her family members also went to the police station, per their accounts, reported the matter, said, Odate Lamte John is beating this woman, is molesting her, is doing all manner of things to her. The police did nothing.
Yeah.
And now you're looking for her. If I were her, I'll show you who I am.
And Joshua, it's become one too many. On this platform, we had a cause to complain about the Kotobabe police.
Yeah.
And the fact that there was this girl who had been scarred by her caretaker.
Yeah.
The case was
for peeing in bed.
Exactly, for bedwetting. The case was reported. In the end, the police said they should go home and go and settle it, without even paying attention to the health condition of the said girl.
A minor, for that matter.
A minor. And now here we are. Two different stations have been indicted. And these are the ones that we've been told. If a woman can walk to a police station and lodge a complaint of domestic violence, and the police will treat her this way, how much more a man? They will make mockery of you. They will laugh at you for going to report that your wife is abusing you. You see, but we pay you to attend to situations like this.
No. They'll tell you that's not what you pay them for.
Okay.
So on the roads, especially the people at your place, that junction, when you're coming from Ablekuma, Kev, down, going to Joma,
yes,
that area,
yes,
they'll shine torchlights in your face and ask you, "Hey, Friday."
I think that's also a needless barrier. Very needless barrier.
It causes
the
so
road
much
is bad,
gridlock.
and it causes so much gridlock. Yeah. So yes, I know that there's a police station now at Joma. Yes, they will have work to do, but the work should not include that needless checkpoint that they erected.
Meanwhile, lives are at stake.
Yeah.
Police officers are being invited to see. We are not in any way indicting the entire Ghana police service, because I have friends in the police service who do amazing work. But for this woman's case, I am so disappointed because they mentioned it. Ofankor Barrier Police, they've reported the matter. If that is not the case, please come out and tell us that there is no report whatsoever of this woman coming there to say she's been abused. Tesano Police, very effective when it comes to cracking down on robberies and all of those things. Domestic violence. Why are we not taking this thing seriously? Are we serious as a country? Really?
As a country, we have one shelter for abused women. And we spoke to the gender minister, who has indicated that there's budgetary allocation, and now moving forward, they are going to populate the country with these shelters. But because of the purpose of these shelters, the shortcutting will not even be made public, and the structures will not be commissioned or inaugurated,
so that
because it's supposed to be like a haven,
a safe haven
for women who are abused. If it will have to take this 32-year-old woman's case for us to have these changes, then so be it. But let it not be said that as a country we have treated our women this way. Let it not be said that as a country we don't have in place proper social structures for the vulnerable. When we have our social welfare system itself needing welfare. That's where we are.
I've had conversations with the social welfare and then persons who work there. And when they tell you about how under-resourced they are, you wonder if you're serious as a country, because we have all these initiatives. We say we are pro-poor initiatives that we are churning out. In fact, our politicians themselves have accused each other of, you are not pro-poor, yet look at the policies you are implementing. And the other says, you say you're a social democratic party. Why are we not seeing the social democracy trickle down to the very people that you say you are protecting? And that's the problem, because now we have politicized everything in such a way that the vulnerable in society, we have neglected them.
Yes.
We've neglected the vulnerable. Mind you, 16 days of activism. We've been doing this for years. And it's coming up again.
This month.
It's coming up again. And what do we have to tell? A woman being beaten in this manner. And in fact, if not for the fact that there was a lady who took a video of this, where would this one be? Because she says continuously that the man told her, "I will kill you." And he started beating her from indoors and then brought it to the compound. She's 32, but when you look at her, she looks like she's over 40 years. Why? Because someone's son, Odate Lamte, has decided to abuse this woman anyhow, and there's no protection for her because the police that she goes to, police says we cannot, and like Ivy says, if I go and report that my wife is beating me, what will you tell me? Because this is a helpless woman. The marks on her body cannot tell the lie. The scars cannot tell the lie.
Yeah.
And when she's speaking, you can tell the pain with which she's doing so. Ghana Police Service, I think this is something that the IGP should take up. For these 2 police stations, examples need to be made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we cannot have a situation where the police that is supposed to be your friend, that is supposed to come to your aid in situations like this, neglects you. And I was so angry yesterday when I heard someone also saying that a friend of hers went to report that she's been raped.
Yeah.
And then she was asked, when you were going there, what were you thinking?
What were you thinking? Yeah.
Like,
Be
what's the
raped
mindset?
By a bugger.
A bugger.
So bugger came to town, and this lady, whatever happens, they came together, and she was raped. Went to lodge a complaint. And I'm sure at the hearing of bugger, they are asking the girl, you see, we might make light of this, but that is the sad story of many women in this country. We are so judgmental,
Yeah.
We are so judgmental that this morning I was reviewing a story where a young teacher has committed suicide because his girlfriend, who is a nurse, has ditched him. And all he needed to do was to talk to somebody. All the gentleman needed to do was to talk to somebody, confide in somebody, so then you can be helped with the grieving. Because he was grieving, of course. You can't imagine how much investment he's put in this lady. Of course, no amount of investment will cost you your life because your partner says,
But we cannot
I'm no longer
underestimate
interested.
people's grief as well.
That's
People
the point.
deal with things differently.
That's the point. So we should have a system.
That's the thing. And you see, we've left this for the NGOs to do as a country, shamefully.
Oh, yes.
We've left it for the NGOs. So Oxfam, Action Aid, Amnesty, people should be championing this.
Yeah.
But as a country, what's our direction? What's our priority?
Yeah.
Where are we putting the investments? I love the fact that we are building roads, but will the roads be used by abused people?
Good question.
We are putting together infrastructure, we are improving schools and all of this. But what about abused people? Do we care about the mental well-being of people? Look at the mental hospitals.
Oh, yes.
It tells you clearly where our priorities are. Highly underfunded. I saw recently that even the one close to us, they've started putting up some structures outside.
Yeah.
It looks nice. But the question is, have we built a system that caters to the mental well-being of our citizens? Because honestly, we say everything is mindset.
Oh, yeah.
And if you are not building the mindset and providing a haven for people's mindsets to be put in proper shapes, where are we going?
And finally, Joshua, you see, yes, we are disappointed in the police. We are equally disappointed in the neighbors. Because per the accounts we are hearing, there's nobody in the community who doesn't know about the existence of this troubled family. And how this man consistently has been dishing out this treatment to the wife. And yet still, silence.
Yeah.
It had to take a brave woman at the peril of her life to record this. And she was hiding whilst recording. And that is the salvation of this woman. Otherwise, like I said, we could have been telling a different story.
Yeah.
A story that's already known to the police who are supposed to stop it. And we'll be here typing, rest in peace. Because for the fact that she lived, she survived to tell her story, we might not have known that these 2 police stations constantly have had their doors knocked by this poor woman. Well, let's hope that the IGP, and especially the DOFSU office, the Domestic Violence and Victims Support Unit, the director, gets to this. Because it comes to one thing. You interviewed her here on this platform. She's been engaging in advocacy and awareness creation. It's all good, right? We support you in doing that.
Now enforce it.
Yes.
People need to feel the brunt and know that, listen, if I decide to be very silly and abuse my partner, this is what awaits me.
Exactly.
But we have not made examples, so people don't see the consequences. They don't see the challenges that they would be put into if they decide to be this silly. If they decide to stop being humans and start behaving like goats, this is what would happen to them. People don't see the examples, and so they go on perpetrating this. You know what? Let's listen to this woman's story. I mean, 32-year-old. Quite a
me go bedroom. No bomb me naked, no cook kitchen, no coffee, me cook. Si kwatina mi kodi no. Obedi mi no body mo kone rera masina mi si anka no kro na me back here bi soon. De jana u plama, de jana di mo ko rera masidi masuri no ro no ne me dai. Baba sa no deri no me deri no die. na mesisa mekono kitin matade na watu chansa no ne medaye tuna midwane ko tesam ko bo amane tesa no fo frɛ no baaya oso onye hwe na omusihwe niema ne nua no ode aba no ofebusuafo we afrewe asɛm mu bisa me ne sɛ mebusuafo we na mse me nkɔ na menam mini obia ma dia mini obia ti me nkɔ na menam abai me dinya me dis evidence baby ba me kuta ni padodo ne bedi machi na waje di sɛ no kra na meka ndi important na me yesa onu na ye me sa me baboy 5 years onu na ye papa so no onye me ma se pa mo kaya oni no mo koba na mi wanza ma friend se mami I listen to the nya botrewa Mrs. Mini kama fo mini siganti sa da de mi bufu police station na me kasaya umanche mi no mujana no koe ko se madam fo ko ti madam fo no woni so pa mo mi firi nche nya sa mo di bi madam fo Cheba Sam si debi kunturi ya na chia na konti madam fo no mam 200 cedis na me fanfaka me famba me busiafo eni se me de bae ya wasa friend mi sa kwala ya re mi di eche ya hwe ne wasa be ya bio ti testa no de makọ papa se testa no police for no be no kra master muwe mi jina man se nim na me kama kota sano papa mi konso mu ni mi se ne mi duta sano mu ni mi eno mu ti mi asem no so ye no kona make up min chantro nye shi mi area for ba mi ni obia min chantro to be ma me na wo so da Station of former police station, no back kind of press. Lady say, ni say, Mahada, Monka. Master, me dear, and to win a buy and send me work for me, come off winter.
You know, and it's so heart-wrenching to listen to this woman talk about her ordeal. And she believes, and that's the belief of millions of Ghanaians, that because they do not have the financial wherewithal, they cannot get justice. And it's one of the things President John Mahama talked about recently, that justice should not be made available to those who have the financial muscle. No, regardless of who I am, so long as I'm a citizen of this country, justice should not be something that I should struggle with because I don't have money. And she's mentioned consistently, Tesano police, when she was raped by her husband, and the man ingested pepper and slept. It's okay. It's okay.
See, every society is measured by how it treats the vulnerable.
Yeah.
We've not done so well in that regard. I think this could be a starting point for us to put in place measures and mechanisms to ensure the protection of the vulnerable children, women, and the destitute. We should. But like we said, and we insist, all the police officers who were made aware of this woman's ordeal but turned a blind eye ought to answer some questions. Just so it doesn't happen to anybody else again.
Absolutely. And I also think that one of the things this woman should enjoy is a trip out of the country.
Yes, and I think Mivak should take care of that, yes. Or Christmas in Dubai.
Because there's Christmas in Dubai, you know. And so I think from the 20th all the way to the 27th, 7 days of enjoyment, to the 26th, 19th to 26th.
Yes.
Mivak is taking people to Dubai. So please, let's get this woman on board. It's what? Just $1,750.
$1,750. Just for double, and then single is $2,000.
$2,000.
She will go single.
She will go single.
$2,000.
So Mivak, please, let's get people to sponsor this woman to join that trip, because you know everybody goes to Dubai. People go to Dubai to go and enjoy life and all of that. But Mivak has a special experience. You're part
of course. I was in Dubai with Mivak. And trust me, the sights and the scenes, beautiful. Right from the airport till the day you return to the airport.
Hassle free.
It's a package. It's a beautiful package.
Yeah, so please, you need to get this woman. Let's get her to Dubai. Let's get her to be part of the MIVAC package, taken to Dubai from the 19th to the 26th, and then $2,000 is nothing. If you go and sit at the mall right now, $2,000.
Oh yeah. Especially now that the city has become mature.
You see,
city now is mature.
So let's get this woman to Dubai. Let's get her to Dubai, and MIVAC is providing a beautiful package. Let's sign her up and let's make sure that she gets some really good time. 32 years, but she needs to go and enjoy some more. Well, we'll tell you more about that also later in the show. But Ib, thank you so much for coming through. But we cannot also go without saying a very special happy birthday to a Justice of the Supreme Court of Ghana, Justice Senyo Jamefe. Togi Mauna Yira Olo, now happy birthday. And your secretariats, they all say you are amazing, and you are one of the few justices that we can bet our last penny on, that when it comes to integrity and all of that, you hold that in high esteem. So, sir, we salute you, Justice Senyo Jamefe.
Yes, and special one from me, Justice Senyo Jamefe. Good morning and a happy birthday. And of course, Joshua said it, when it comes to integrity, everybody around you, even those who have not had encounters with you, have heard stories about your integrity. And that's what will urge you on to continue to hold on to and help Ghana get to the promised land. And of course, service is dedicated almost all his life. To service of the nation.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday, Justice.
Yeah, whenever his name is mentioned, it's always in a right context.
Oh,
like
yes.
Something good has happened.
Oh, yes.
So, Justice, God bless you so much. Justice Senyo Jamefe, Justice of the Supreme Court of Ghana. And this is a special one from us here, also from your secretariat, and all the people who admire you so much. They say you're a very good man, and we know because we've experienced
he's also a friend to the show.
Exactly. He watches us. So, Justice Jamefe, have a wonderful one, sir. God bless you. And that's it for Inside. I will be returning shortly with the conversations on the Breakfast Review. I've been joined in studio by the Member of Parliament for Bongo in the person of Charles Bawadia, as well as the Member of Parliament for Ifia, Isaac Boama Nyako. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're doing well.
Good.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. How is the going?
We did talk. But how's the constituency as well?
Oh, constituency is fine. As you know, the year is coming to an end.
Yes.
And so we need to make sure that we complete a lot of the things that we promised for the first year. I have divided my activities or action plan yearly. And so I'm guided by what I want to achieve on a yearly basis. And that's what I'm measuring my performance on. And so far, I think I've delivered about 70 to 80% of what I planned for the year.
Right.
And so I hope that by the end of December, I should be able to end my year on a high.
Interesting. Well, it's the first time I'm meeting you. I hope you're doing well.
Well, I'm cool. Let me, first of all, say good morning to my constituents. I'm sure a number of them will be watching us.
Right.
Let me also correct the proper pronunciation of my name.
Yes.
It is Bawadwa.
Bawadwa.
Your sister, if Emir would have properly pronounced it.
Forgive me.
That's okay. So I think so we're always learning.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I'm fine with that. So I think that generally things are okay. We're all working hard to improve the lots of our constituents.
Right.
Nothing comes easy. It all has to do with hard work. And I'm sure that for now, we are doing that hard work for the benefit of our good people.
Yeah, your colleague says he set a target for himself and he's about 70 to 80% done. How about you?
I think I have gone a little bit above that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm still working hard
Right.
to complete on a very high note.
Right.
My constituents will tell you that, in fact, a lot of the things that confront us within the period, some of them were not even envisaged, natural disasters included. And we managed to storm through. And I am sure that we have done a great job dealing with some of those issues. Yes.
Interesting. Right. All right, so let's talk about, and I'm glad that both of you are private legal practitioners as well, and the issue of the former CJ seeking some release at the ECOWAS court. And yesterday we heard from the court. They gave their ruling on the matter on a couple of things. And it looks like that is generating quite a lot of misunderstanding as well. Because while the Deputy Attorney General put out a post on his Facebook to suggest that, this is what had happened. We also heard from some other legal practitioners who believe that, that's not a true representation of what truly happened from the ruling of the ECOWAS court. I'm sure you've also been monitoring. What's your take on all of that?
Right. Thank you very much once again. And a very good morning to our cherished viewers and also the good people of Ifia constituency. And my brother, Bawadwa. I hope I pronounced it right.
I mean, you are on the same committee with me.
I sit with him on the same committee,
Right.
Private Members Bill Committee.
Right.
And he's a very fantastic gentleman. I'm happy that he's doing his bit to improve the lives of the people of Bongo. I always say that this country, we are here representing the people of Ghana. And so anything that we all have to do to improve and to promote the people's well-being, irrespective of our political ideology, we need to support it. One of the days, if I come to Upper East, I'll pass by Bongo.
You are always welcome.
Now, on the issue you raised concerning the former Chief Justice applications to ECOWAS court, you remember the former Chief Justice, after he had been removed by President John Dramani Mahama, filed a lot of applications. In fact, she had filed them prior to her removal as Chief Justice by John Dramani Mahama. He made some applications at the High Court, mainly bordering on her fundamental human rights issues. And you know, in Ghana, per our constitution, it's the High Court that is the first court of instance when it comes to issues on your fundamental human rights, enforcing your fundamental human rights. She made other applications to the Supreme Court of Ghana, which are still pending, and then the ECOWAS court. It is for these reasons that as a minority, we were thinking that His Excellency would hold on to the swearing in or to the nomination of Paul Bafuboni for us to exhaust the judicial processes. Unfortunately, what has happened, so we can't cry over spilt milk. And so we are all awaiting the determination of all these matters before the various courts. And we've heard of the preliminary rulings or the rulings by the ECOWAS court on some of the preliminary matters that were raised by the Attorney General who is representing the state. I've not had the benefit of getting the entire ruling so far, so I'm very handicapped in relying on newspaper reportages or blog reportages. Like you said, the initial feedback we got was that the court had thrown out a case, or the court had declined her request in terms of her claims that she brought before them. And then this morning I woke up to alternative reports that suggest that the court have upheld her claims and thrown out the state's preliminary objection concerning the jurisdiction of the ECOWAS court to hear the matter of her fundamental human rights. And so I'm torn, or I'm in a fix based on these two contradictory reports. But importantly, if it comes to the jurisdiction of ECOWAS court in matters of upholding fundamental human rights, I'll find it a bit incongruous that the ECOWAS court will say they lack jurisdiction, because there have been a lot of cases before the ECOWAS court which borders on fundamental human rights of people that have been heard. The question has always been whether you need to exhaust your internal legal processes before you invoke the jurisdiction of the ECOWAS court. Right. And normally the position of appellate courts or the jurisdictions of international courts has been that you need to exhaust your internal processes. So one would have expected that the matter would be determined at the High Court. If you have issue, you move to the Supreme Court for it before you then file. But there have been exemptions or exceptions to this rule when it comes to the ECOWAS court. Unfortunately, I have not been able to make the various researches and come with the decided cases. But I know for a matter of fact that where some human rights of an individual in a country is being infringed upon and the person believes that the internal processes that ought to be exhausted are being frustrated, if he or she can prove to the court that unless the court comes in to make its rulings, those human rights have the tendency of being thrown out or not being properly decided or envisages biases, then the ECOWAS court may assume jurisdiction and hear them. So my preliminary comments would be, to the extent that I have not even read the decision of the ECOWAS court in entirety, and now picking and choosing what the Deputy Attorney General is putting out in the public space as against what Ayikwe has said, and now what I'm even reading at Ghana Web. I find it very difficult.
Suman has also given an opinion on the matter as well.
Exactly. So I'm sure in the matter of days, we will try and secure the decision of the court and then we make it. But for me, it's not much to do with even the court, ECOWAS court ruling. It's about us as a country. How well is our judicial system structured to protect the fundamental rights of people? You know, justice delayed is justice denied. And I say that if a Ghanaian brings a matter, and this is no mean, yes, every Ghanaian is a Ghanaian, but when you have the head of the judiciary, the former Chief Justice, feeling that her rights are being trampled upon, and she makes these applications, and for months, the courts have not been, and when we were even preparing to vet Justice Bafubon, we raised issues about even empaneling the courts, and AG filing his responses. And if AG will wait for 6 months and not file a defense, and then later go to court and say, I need extension of time, of course, it's within the rules when it comes to the Attorney General. If it were myself and counsel here, if the court gives you a day to file your defense and you fail to file your defense, you will never have the privilege of waiting for 6 months before appearing before the court that you. But these are privileges and courtesies extended to the Attorney General. And so it is easy for the state, if it is not so guided and minded, to abuse the judicial process and then use it to achieve some personal, national, and political gain. And that is how I see the trajectory of all these appeal cases before the courts with regards to Gertrude Sabatokonu. So I will appeal to the state, I will appeal to the Attorney General that please let us all build this democracy that we are protecting. Today it is Gertrude Tokonu. Tomorrow it might be him as Attorney General. It may be me. And when it is your turn, you would expect counsel and lawyers like ourselves to also speak up on your behalf in terms of how these things are being done. So for the now, this is what it is from ECOWAS Court, and we wait to read the full verdict.
Okay. And what would be your impression as well on the matter, counsel?
Well, thank you very much. Well, first of all, let me try to deal with the issue regarding the delay of cases before the Supreme Court. I think that it is not a new phenomenon. It's something that has been happening, and we must all be concerned. I personally filed a case against the Attorney General in 2021. It's a Trade Union Congress versus Attorney General regarding the constitutionality or otherwise of certain provisions of the Labour Act. Up to today, the case has not been heard.
4 years on.
4 years on. I have written reminders to the registrar of the court twice. I have still not had it. Wow. So, I mean, and this is even when Justice Tokonu was there, up to now. So it is not a recent phenomenon. What we must see is something we must all condemn. Because when a person approaches the Supreme Court, I mean, you need speedy justice. So whatever processes are there, whatever issues are there that delay cases, I think we need to address them. So it is not peculiar to Justice Tokonu's case. Now, coming back to Tokonu's case and the decision of the ECOWAS Court, like my colleague said, this is a matter that has been on and on for several months now. Now, Tokonu initially went to the courts of Ghana, seeking to stop the suspension and investigation processes.
Yes.
She failed. She went to the Supreme Court. She failed. She proceeded to the ECOWAS Court. Now, all these on preliminary matters. Now, at the ECOWAS Court, my understanding is that when she filed her matter before the court, she followed it up with an application to get an interim order. First, to reverse the suspension. 2, to stop the investigation process. And then 3, to ensure that she continues as Chief Justice whilst the process is going. So that was the interim application before the ECOWAS Court. Now, upon service of the processes on the Attorney General or the government of Ghana, they also raised the issue of jurisdiction to the effect that, look, insofar as Justice Tokonu has not exhausted the domestic tribunal processes, the local judicial processes, he ought not be heard by the ECOWAS Court. That is to say that the ECOWAS Court had no jurisdiction over the matter. So there were 2 key matters, interlocutory matters, pending before the ECOWAS Court.
Right.
1, jurisdiction. 2, an injunction application, more or less. Now, And it is this jurisdictional issue which the Attorney General raised that informed the Attorney General not to file a response to the substantive case of Justice Tokono. And I have heard people say, why is that the Attorney General did not file a response to Justice Tokono's case before the ECOWAS court? Well, if I'm raising jurisdiction before the court, why will I file a response until the court has dealt with the issue of jurisdiction? Now, so yesterday, the court made two decisions from what I've gathered. And like my colleague, I do not pretend to have read the full ruling of the court because I don't have access to it. But I have read from several sources, and it's obvious that there were two decisions by the courts. One, that the ECOWAS court has jurisdiction over the matter.
Yes.
That is because the subject matter relates to a complaint of violation of provisions of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, on fair hearing, on dignity, and on the working conditions, fair working conditions. So this was the complaint. So the court's like, if this is a complaint about violation of fundamental human rights under the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, then clearly the court has jurisdiction.
Right.
So on jurisdictional issue, you may say that Tokono was successful. You get a point I'm making. So that is where you get reports that Tokono, had succeeded, kind of thing. But on the other aspect of the application before the court, which is the injunction kind of order that Tokono wanted, to restrain the government of Ghana from the suspension, the investigation, and surrounding issues. That one, the court said no. And the main reason the court gave, as I gather, is that, look, this was a suspension in April.
Yeah, agency.
And you come to court in July, almost 3 months after the fact upon which you are bringing your matter. There is clearly no agency in it. Because if there were such agency, you would have come immediately upon the act took place.
Right.
So she did not qualify and has not proven the proper grounds for a grant of an interim order in the nature of the one she was seeking. So the court refused that application. What it means that the court will now have to go into the substantive matter of whether or not Tokono's rights were violated under the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. So that's the substantive matter before the court now, for which the AG has been ordered to file response.
In 30 days.
Yes, within 30 days. So this, in my opinion, is what transpired at the ECOWAS court. But you see, in all this, I think that, look, if I were Justice Tokono, I would have exhausted the processes here in Ghana.
But that's what the administration is accused of basically stretching. Because as it stands now, it's pending at the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it is pending. It will definitely be heard. It is not the only matter pending. And even though I have also raised the issue of delay in our courts, Tokono's case is not peculiar. Many more cases are there, you see. So I think that she should rather push for the case to be heard. But to go to the ECOWAS court, I have always held the view, decisions of the ECOWAS courts are morally binding.
Yeah.
They are morally binding. So I do not see how the ECOWAS court is going to save her in this. And her predicament yesterday, I think that she brought this upon herself, a failure to get the restraining order that she wants. And it justifies government's decision not to stop the processes of appointing and approving a substantive chief justice. Hoping that something may happen. I mean, the justice delivery processes cannot come to a halt because you have a matter in court. The courts have ways of ordinary remedies that has the potential of reversing the situation that has taken place. And I only say that Tokono, I think, has put this upon herself. She's a kind of found herself in a kind of iron net, which, to use somebody's expression, she can neither escape nor break. I think that now the skills are against her. So that's my perspective of what has happened.
Right. And Counsel, one of the things that I've also heard from your colleagues on the other side is that it's a foregone conclusion. So questioning basically what she's fighting for as former Chief Justice, because we now have a substantive Chief Justice. There's no way that that decision will be reversed. So basically, why litigation must end at a point?
Yeah, so let me glean from where counsel has established. Yes, these facts were before us, but importantly, as lawyers, when we don't have the benefit of really reading the decisions and we rely on commentaries from the media, at times you may be misled. But I take it. I think clearly from what you read, this is the gravamen of the issues that are before the ECOWAS court and the determination that has come up in terms of the Attorney General being asked to open his defense because the court finds a prima facie evidence or case for which reason the state needs to. And of course, the court having declined her interim reliefs basically makes it difficult for anybody to ask her to come back. And he talked about the moral binding nature of ECOWAS court or the persuasive nature of decisions of the ECOWAS court. And that for me is one area too that we have to look at as a continent and as a body. Because if decisions of ECOWAS court cannot bind member countries, then to what extent is the relevance of the ECOWAS court? There are divergent views actually. I think I've had the benefit of interacting with some justices of the ECOWAS court, and they have made it known that there are many aspects of the decisions that are actually binding on member countries.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can cite one of them being our judge at the Supreme Court now, said Justice Sir Dennis, who happened to have served on the ECOWAS court. I've had a very lengthy conversation on the implications of decisions of the ECOWAS court, and he has established as part of their previous rulings that it can be enforceable in domestic jurisdictions of member countries. So, but we wait to see. Ghana, this is a new territory that we are exploring. Unless and until such cases have been fully determined and very strong declarations are made, it will be. But now to your question as to whether this is about much ado about nothing or what have you, it depends on the perspective that you hold. This whole process, I believe, has been political. And it is for these political reasons that has pushed us to where you are asking that the die is cast. Now we have a substantive Chief Justice.
Yes.
And it will be extremely difficult. Domestically, and these were the arguments that we were pushing, that the person that you have appointed now Chief Justice is an interested party in the matter, because if he is supposed to empanel a court which will make a determination that he should lose his benefits or his position as a Chief Justice, human as we are, listen to the Chief Justice then. When he said Atayi appeared before him, Atayi had not stolen or had not gone to attack him as a judge. He was a notorious criminal. Yet in sentencing him, he made us to now understand that his own fears of a future attack by the criminal compelled him to give him some years that will put the person out of touch from him. So meaning that even justice determinations or sentencing are at times personal. So for him even to determine a matter concerning a third party, he took into consideration his personal interest. How much more empanaling a matter that you and I know that it has a direct effect on his position as a justice, as a chief justice. And so it blurs the transparency. So if he had remained an acting chief justice, that one, it wouldn't have been too difficult for anybody to make that pronouncement. So I'm not saying that our judges are timorous souls. Okay, I always say, if I have the benefit of serving on the court and I'm faced with this, I would go according to my conscience and the law. But again, in this country, we have politicized the judiciary. It is bad. It didn't happen from John Dramani Mahama. We have progressively looked into empaneling or bringing justices to the court with so much political interest.
Right.
High Court justices, Court of Appeal justices appointment, Supreme Court justices appointment. And so when cases are political in nature, it's as if we are in Parliament and we are being shaped. Justices are also being shaped to align to who brought you to the court. And these are dangerous for judicial practice. And these are dangerous for the rule of law and the constitution that they are supposed to uphold. I am only telling my colleague counsel that let's change the narrative of this country in terms of judicial independence. It should start from somewhere. Executive should do their function as bestowed on them by the Constitution. But we should be guided by fairness, equity, transparency, rule of law, and uphold the Constitution.
You mentioned that the Atayu comments. When the Chief Justice made the comments, he was laughing. Was that not just in jest?
No.
You think that was really serious? That was him being factual and telling us exactly what his thought process was when he was giving that sentence?
In fact, in all intents and purposes, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So he had actually kept this to himself for how many years? And for him to have said this, and this is on record, Parliament is a house of record. And there's no way I would doubt, because he might have taken it not only as the main reason, okay, but what he said was also an influencing factor.
Okay.
And I am saying that it is dangerous for us to see judges. Yes, when they are sentencing, a lot of discretion comes into play because you are supposed to sentence within some years.
Yes.
Okay, minimum and maximum. And so whichever way, depending on the gravity of the offense, the circumstances of the matter across within that time. And so when he was sentenced to 70 years, people were happy. People were excited, but people didn't know that he had a personal interest in the sentencing. And that for me is something that if he has the benefit of guiding future justices in their sentencing or making decisions, the Judicial Training Institute should try and cause judges to just stay in the law so that people's rights or people's interest will not be affected based on their individual personal inclinations or interests.
Very well. Kodjo, I'll give you the final bite on this.
Well, I think that I can understand the feeling and belief of Tokonu and her lawyers when they argue that they should stop the processes of appointing or approving the Chief Justice pending the determinations. But the thing is that, you see, these processes are not done in a vacuum.
Okay.
They operate within legal parameters. Now, the position of the law on this is very clear. That the fact that you have filed an application or that you have filed a matter in court does not necessarily stop the person from doing what you are supposed to do. You must obtain a restraining order, which order specifically restrains the person from undertaking the act for which you are complaining of. Question. Did Tokonu acquire or obtain a restraining order against His Excellency the President or the Parliament of Ghana from approving Justice Bafoboni? The answer is no. So there was nothing that legally restrained the process from taking place. And so if the bodies which are supposed to, undertake these processes decided to undertake them, you cannot, take the issue as though they were legally wrong. We must let the public know that there was nothing wrong legally with this. You may have your concerns. You understand that? And even when it comes to the processes of empaneling and all that, I am one of those who believe that, look, justices of our courts must know that once they are appointed, they must be very independent in the decision-making process. Look, no one judge should allow anybody, whether a politician, a traditional ruler, or whatever, to influence your decision. You work according to the law. It is the law who puts you there as a judge. As a normal human being, you cannot come to my house and order me do this or do that and I will do it. Or that somebody should arrest me and I'll be arrested. No. But it's because the law allows you. The same law says that be independent, act in accordance with the law. So a judge has no basis to allow him or herself to be influenced by politicians, by chiefs.
But what's the reality?
Even though they are appointed by the politicians.
Yeah, that is true. But that is what the law says, you should appoint them. But when you are appointed, you are supposed to be independent. So it's up to you, the judge, to exert your independence. You must do that. And it's only when we do this, that is when this country will grow its democracy. Because if you don't have an independent judiciary, we are just joking.
Right.
And this we have seen throughout, all the since the 1992 Constitution. Okay, we have had cause to, complain about certain decisions of the court. And I think it's about time we make sure that decisions that emanate from our court are in accordance with the law, the practice. And I can understand that a judge can get it wrong, genuinely. Judges are not perfect. And that is why we have a structure, an appeal structure. The district court makes a decision, you are not happy with it, you go to High Court, you are not happy with it, you go to Court of Appeal, you can even go to Supreme Court and even ask for a review. That is the structure. That is because of the belief that judges are also human and can err. But when you err, it must be seen that this was a genuine error. So judicial independence is something we must all fight for, because that is what will save us. It can be somebody today, tomorrow it can be you. It is only when the judicial system is independent that is where we can have true justice in this country. To that extent, I support that.
Absolutely. Well, you're still watching the Breakfast Review segment. We just talked about the former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu at the ECOWAS courts. When we come back from the break, we'll be touching on corruption, because President Mahama has given a caution to his appointees, while the OSP is also pursuing Kenneth Orata, former finance minister, and others. We'll be right back. With the Member of Parliament for Bongo, Charles Bawadwa, as well as the Member of Parliament for Ifia, Isaac Boama Nyako. Both are legal practitioners as well, and we just had a conversation on the CJ. But let's talk now about President Mahama's admonition to his appointees. He says that anyone who makes or gives this government a bad name through any scandal in terms of corruption will be hanged on a tree. And while he's given that admonition, we also know that the OSP is also officially charged former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and others over some issues regarding corruption and corruption-related offences as well. But let me start with Charles Bawadwa. President Mahama says nobody would be let go if any scandal of corruption is mentioned in his administration. Strong enough, others have said, well, we've heard this time and again, yet...
Well, I think that the warning by the president tells you who he is. I mean, this is a man who detests corruption. This is a man who's been fighting corruption, throughout his presidency.
I don't know why your colleague is...
Well, I have a view. He may also have a contrary view.
Right.
But I am entitled to express my understanding,
Absolutely.
knowledge, and my belief of who the president is. And he's been fighting corruption not today. And his warning to the appointees is timely because corruption has done so much harm to this country. In fact, I dare say that we are where we are, still not developing because of the effect of corruption.
Right.
And if we can fight corruption and do so effectively, I am sure that this country will be far better off than we have it today. So it's important for the president to warn his appointees. Here we are now, fighting former government appointees, taking them to court over scandalous activities that took place or allegedly took place during their period. I remember we are dealing with buffer stock, very harrowing stories of how public money was used as if it was private money. We have harrowing stories from the National Service Secretariat. We have harrowing stories of Palugu Dam. We have harrowing stories of SkyTrain. Not forgetting the almighty cathedral. I mean, these are monies, if were effectively used, would have made this country a better country for us. But corruption. And we know that one of the main reasons why the MPP government lost in the manner that they did was because of the allegations of corruption. So the warning given to the appointees is very timely. For John Dramani Mahama, whether you are his appointee or whoever it is, he has evidence of corruption, he will go after you. And he has done that before. So it's up to the appointees. Because John Dramani Mahama does not intend to counterance corruption. And you can't be fighting corruption by just hauling your opponents before court. That is not fighting corruption. You must fight corruption totally. And that is what he is doing.
Right.
So I think that apart from government appointees or politicians, corruption in the public service is also very rife. That must also be tackled if we are to effectively fight corruption. Look, I just read a report released by the Ghana Statistical Service on the most corrupt institutions in this country. They have listed, it's very short. Let me read what I got. The first one is the Ghana Police Service. The most corrupt public institutions in this country. The second is Passport Office. Then comes City Guards. Those they call Abaye. Abaye people. Then Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Births and Deaths Registry, Forestry Commission, Food and Drugs Authority, DVLA, Police CID. Look, I mean, nobody needs to tell you the corruption that takes place in all these institutions and more. But no effort has been made to fight them. You see the policeman on the road checking expired papers, insurance, and roadworthiness. He can be there from morning to evening. At the end of the day, he doesn't get a single person to arrest. Meanwhile, numerous people would have passed. All he did was took, his bargain and left the criminal to continue. And this is destroying this country. You go to many state institutions, and this is what is happening. So it's not enough to only fight corruption with appointees and politicians. We must do so holistically.
Right. And the government has demonstrated that commitment?
And the government is demonstrating that. This NDC government will not countenance corruption, no matter its forms. And I expect that appointees, if you are IGP, make sure that your men, do not take what they shouldn't be taking.
Because the question has also been that if indeed this administration is committed, why is it that we've not heard much about work being done about persons who were even talked about to have been engaged in illegal mining, including party people themselves? We are told the matter was referred. Nothing more has been heard. But all we see is you going out after former appointees and the likes.
No. I do not think that nothing is being heard. You see, there is a process. You must first of all investigate and get the evidence. It is to be more damning if you rush to court without any evidence and your case is thrown out. And many had questioned the current Attorney General, why have you delayed in trying even former government appointees and all that? The most important thing when you are going to court is to be sure that you are going to get a conviction and not to just appear. It is not about participation. This is not Olympic Games. I remember when we were in school, the theme of the Olympic Games, as we were taught, was that the most important thing is to be part of it, but not to be victorious. You cannot say the same when it comes to fighting corruption. So I can understand that some of these investigations need to be expedited, but it's important that we do it and do it well. And that's the more reason why we need to resource the various bodies, IOCO, Shiraj, Audit Service, Ghana Police Service, to make sure that we are able to expedite this investigation. Yes, the OSP as well. They are able to expedite these investigation processes and bring the matters to court.
Right.
I am sure that if we can show others the example that this government is committed to fighting corruption, it will serve as a deterrent to others. And that will drastically reduce, if not eliminate corruption completely. Until we eliminate corruption from our society, we will continue to remain where we are.
Interesting. Council, does that warning to the appointees change anything with regards to your view about this administration's commitment to dealing with corruption? Because John Mahama says that if you're an appointee and you are caught in any scandal, he will hang you. He will give you out to the authorities to deal with you. He's not going to shield any appointee whatsoever. That's strong.
Yeah, and initially when my colleague said John Mahama is, he used a certain terminology, like he's committed and he's strong and he's always been abhors corruption. My mind cast me back, but I won't go back. I'm not part of the politicians who would always want to refer to past stories. Ghana has come very far. So if we are going to the past, including the Mahama the First that I know, and all the corruption scandals that came during his term, including he himself being accused in all those reportages that we had about the airbag scandal and all. But we will not go there. After all, human beings change. And I can applaud the president that his actions in the second term appears a bit more improved than how he conducted himself in the first term. So if today, having learned the lessons of corruption and its effect on governance, and he's making this call today, I want it to be a meaningful call and not just a call for political praise, political praise. You see, as we speak today, if the president's ears are on the ground, he will hear corruption. As of today, if the president's nose is on the ground, he will smell corruption. In the agencies and the appointees that he has appointed so far. You see, where I sit and what I do, many things that government appointees go and do, and it's all hidden. You see, we have corruption. The corruption that we talk about, corruption scandals, are the greedy ones that just get exploded in our faces. But day to day, government appointees contracting, procurement processes, value for money audit works. If you pick an eye on them, you see a lot of corruption in the engagement there. So if the president is waiting for scandals may come. Not now, because we are just in the first. In fact, the finance minister has not released enough money into the system for us to see scandals blowing up in our face. So the scandals will start hitting us 2026, because by 2026, even the little release that will come 2025, they will start spending more in 2026. But if he's really committed, you see, to fight corruption, you don't wait for comments on scandals. You yourself, as an executive, should put in place mechanisms that tightens the financial controls in your ministries, in your departments, in agencies to minimize corruption. And by this, you see, I was in Parliament. He was there with me when the finance minister brought a company. We passed it 2 days ago through that they are going to bring some publican solution to complement the work of ICOMS in customs. I'm on the finance committee. I told the finance minister, he even wanted to bet me. I told him that, Minister, it is the same thing like SML that was brought to come and do revenue assurances today.
Is that a Tata consultancy?
No, that is even different.
Okay.
The ITAS, the Tata is ITAS,
yes.
Integrated Tax Administration System,
yes.
to do domestic run, and that one has its own issues, not that one. But the publican, which is supposed to be a solution, digital solution, to complement ICOMS, at a fee that they are taking from ICOMS percentage. And ICOMS as a system already has what it takes to do the revenue assurances that the publican is supposed to come and do. So why are you bringing in another body? And it is all coming to revenue assurance. Like SML came in to do revenue assurance. The only bit the SML, they are talking about this noise is that, yes, it breached procurement processes initially. It had gone, procurement didn't approve. But this one, the finance minister is smart. He has come to Parliament quickly to come and get approval. So anything that happens thereafter, we have parliamentary approval. I'm saying that the president should look beyond listening or awaiting scandals. There are already smells of corruption all around him and his appointees. Strengthen and tighten the loopholes. And how do you strengthen and tighten the loopholes? In previous times, the executive or the presidency would have set up an anti-corruption unit in the office of the president, where you give them some responsibilities to go down to those ministries, departments, and agencies to conduct investigations in their works they are doing. which borders on financials. Because what we hear is only 1% of the 99 that is gone. But then the state is bleeding. The procurement authority itself that has been established to protect our procurement, they themselves are the ones inflating prices. Not now. I'm not going to blame John Mahama. And so this country is suffering from corruption at various levels. And so his call there, it's easy for one person to be accused and you crack the ship. Bah! Why? When Sami Jemfi's money matter came that he was carrying dollars and had given to Agrada, what did he say? He said, Akola, go and sin no more. He parted him. Because that one, you can't say that he has gone to steal money here or something. But it was a blow in our face, giving us a signal that if an appointee who was, someone who was appointed 2 months ago will stop spending CD and is now sharing dollars, the question is, where did he get the money from? But no investigation was conducted to establish where the money was made from.
But we know he's a lawyer. He does other businesses as well. You wanted an investigation to determine the source of his funds?
I mean,
are we doing a lifestyle audit now?
Oh, why not? Why can't he do a lifestyle audit?
The president suspended Sami Jemfi.
You understand? He didn't suspend him.
Yeah, but
he didn't suspend him.
He was
reprimanded.
He was reprimanded.
He wasn't suspended.
And then after reprimand, the president looked into the matter. I mean, there's no reason the president, without checking what actually happened, take a decision. It can't happen like that.
So the decision that was arrived at was after investigations?
Exactly. After he doesn't have to publish his investigation or openly come out to say that I have done investigation. No. Will you take a decision on a matter without cross-checking, finding out what happened?
When Nana did investigations at presidency and was establishing that there were no cases against Apple, he said it was a clearing agency at the Jubilee. So have you also established a clearing agency?
No. There are different levels of it. It can't be a clearing agency. There are different levels. When you have very serious matters in the magnitude that those issues were.
Counsel, I will not
and so it is not possible that the president would have said that go and say no more without looking into the complaints.
I even passed that as a man. The Sami Jemfi matter is even minimal. I was only drawing that line that you see, you are the president. We know the lives of your appointees before they became ministers or CEOs, okay? And so, like we are seeing today, the CEOs that are being tried, whether it is Bost or whether it is Buffer Stock and
NSA.
If there had been institutional monitoring, if truly there were leakages or abuse of resources like this, it would have come up. What we are seeing, just 1 or 2 of them that we are even scared, national service, those things that we are even. If you have these, that's why I'm saying that unless and until you have an institution or a body that is going down to track what is happening at the institutions and so on, independent of our audit system.
But isn't that what the
that is why we have we even have the audit service as well. Right. You understand? But he's
talking about something that is independent of the audit service.
No, but the audit service has a legal mandate to do these things. Why can't they be strengthened to work effectively?
Auditors come in after the harm has already been caused. Auditors will come and audit 1 year after your work has been done. If the audit service is strengthened, of course, like we see at our public accounts, some of these things will come up. But what I'm saying is that where the leakages truly are, the bulk of our resources sits at goods and services. Government expenditure. The bulk of the expenditure sits at goods and services. And goods and services, they are all negotiated through procurement.
Yes.
These are where the bleeds are. I'm not talking about, that's why when you contracting procurement, when we are talking about scandals, I'm saying that the 1 or 2 scandals that the president will hear are only a tip of the real issues that are happening day to day at the ministries, department, and agency, including the bodies established. So president should look beyond waiting for scandal. And then rather, if he's concerned about fighting corruption, get another low-profile body, investigative body, whether he's going to use audit service to do that periodically, or he's going to get some auditors, whether it is Pricewaterhouse or KPMG, those bodies, independent bodies, to look at where our big resources are, like this, through the issue that I talked about. Cabinet approved it. Did cabinet do value for money for those things? When things go even for executive clearance or approval, how does the executive establish itself that these things that cabinet is even approving? There is value for money in all of these enterprises. So we have a long way to go. Me, I'm not talking about Mahama as president and his call. His call is good.
Yes.
It puts appointees on their toes. It depends on what the president hears and the actions that he takes that will let his appointees see him as serious or not serious. But I'm saying that we will begin to hear those scandals more from next year. But I'm not waiting for even a scandal to happen before we say that this government is clean, because a lot of them, either you cure them today or they will be hidden by you unless a new administration comes, and then it will be uncovered.
Right.
The uncovering of what we have seen,
Right.
issues around NSS, if they are prosecuted and it is so established, buffer stock and the rest, they all came out as a result of a change in
Right.
government. And that tells you that there were weaknesses at the time that NPP were in power during those areas. And so Mahama should also be guided if he really wants to fight corruption, because if he doesn't deal with them now, tomorrow you'll be back, and when you hear those corruptions, you say, hey, is that what Mahama has done to us?
So perfect, you see?
Right.
So the way forward is not setting up and establishing many bodies, that you are fighting corruption. We already have the systems. You understand? We have not strengthened those systems to perform the mandate for which they have been given. That is where we have the corruption. If you have policemen who are supposed to be fighting crime, and they themselves are committing crimes, can they be successful
In fact,
in fighting crime? They cannot be successful.
let me say someone.
And that is the more reason why it is important that we strengthen the institutions that we
The
have.
existing institutions.
Because if you go and establish another institution, the people you employ to work, they also get compromised. Have we not come back to square one? Let's strengthen the institutions that we have. Let them do the work. And then discipline those who refuse to do the work. If they have to be sacked, sack them. If they have to receive some other disciplinary action, let them receive it.
Right.
The president must be sure that he is very serious. I mean, if you go to a police station and you see the police taking bribe or whatever, there should be some action. The commander there must know something that is happening. How is it that you block a road to check roadworthiness and other things, and you don't get a single person?
In fact, let me.
Sometimes there are videos showing how police even take monies.
Yes.
And not just police alone, several other institutions that are supposed to be fighting corruption. And that is where we are.
In fact,
And I agree with him when he talked about, contracting. It's as if it's a whole joke.
Right.
What is supposed to be a bidded contract end up being manipulated. And you can't have value for money for such a project that is going to be put up. And I think that, look, let everybody know that this warning from the president, he means it.
Okay.
And I am sure that the first scandal that will come, or evidence of corruption that his president, excellency will take action. And thereupon, people will know that the president is very serious about it.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, with the report he read from Statistical Service on the corruption, the most corrupt institutions in Ghana, and topped by the Ghana Police Service. You see, as a country, if you receive such reports and we treat it as business as usual, it becomes very problematic, because that is where you fight corruption. These are corruption perception indexes. And then people bring them up because of what they encounter on a day-to-day basis. And so when they tell you that Ghana police is corrupt, you expect immediately some direction from either the Minister of Interior, His Excellency, the President, the Vice President who chairs the Police Council, the IGP, to come up with immediate steps to address these matters. Not that they don't know. But when it comes out like this, and we treat it as business as usual, then it becomes a problem. Why? Anywhere that you pass in this country, the police that is supposed to protect us in the night, they are only there collecting money.
Yeah, and the report actually pegs the Motor Traffic and Transport Division, the MTTD, 51.9%.
Any day they stop you on the side, hey, my friend, park. Once you park, even they will not even tell you why you should park. They will not ask you to produce whatever documentation. The people just squeeze some paper money there, whether it's 10 cedis or 20 cedis. He takes it and then you go. So it's a daily occurrence on the road.
Yeah.
And the police service is telling us that they have no means to curb this. They've not seen their people doing that on a daily basis, for which they should bring sanctions from the divisional command, regional command, to the operations command. Until and it's so embarrassing. My brother, when you are driving with a friend, if anybody comes back to this country and you are driving, and you see from afar, and at times when they even see us, they are not even scared, because when you see some cars, and you see maybe the way the person is looking like in the car, you should even think twice that, hey, if you are taking the trotro driver or a taxi driver, that one they are public transport. But when you are stopping certain cars and you stop us and Masa,
the boys are here.
Your boys are here.
Regardless of the MP sticker on the
cars. He knows they cannot arrest you. So the finest way to take the money is that, something for your boys. Your boys are here.
It's near Wahao.
Yeah, so they are not being paid. You should pay them on the street. And it's so embarrassing when you have friends on your side or visitors. I've traveled to even Liberia, Sierra Leone, and all of those things, and it doesn't happen with the impunity that we see in this country, and we have normalized them. And so I will call on the IGP, the President, the IGP especially, this passport office. The Minister of Foreign Affairs was talking, 24-hour service. Now their 24-hour economy is limited to DVLE, passport office, and the port. It will be set 24 hours. And these are the three areas operating 24 hours. And in the 24-hour economy, corruption is at DVLE and at passport office. So it means that 24 hours is breeding more corruption.
It is not 24 hours which is breeding corruption. It's the system. And that is why we must fight the system. We must fight the system to peg it of corruption. 24 hours is supposed to provide services to people. And that's exactly what you do. But in it, you have the corrupt people there. Not because it's 24 hours. Even when it was working 8 hours, there was corruption. Was it because of 24 hours? So it is a system we must fight. Goodness. And I agree with you when you say that the ministers, the commanders must take action.
Because they
but
know.
It is not the 24-hour economy.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs knows that it's happening. So what is the roadmap to? And these are the ways I will measure performances of ministers.
Right.
To ensure that at least I came to meet this mess, but I've been able to clean it to this level, so that if someone, even all of us will see it. When I go to DVLE, I should feel it. That people. Yesterday I went to a clinic. I won't put the name there. One of the clinics at Laboni or Cantonment for my review. They have pasted it everywhere. Tips not allowed. I was given a service. I paid. They later said I had overpaid, so they were giving me a refund. And so I went and I tried to give the person some tip, though they had put the tips not allowed. So I felt like, okay, they said tips are not allowed. Can I give you a tip? The person was like, no, it's not allowed. And I was only doing that, one, to confirm whether what has been pasted there has really gone into their mindset. And whether if I make an attempt to just thank the person with money, the person will take it. The person didn't. Okay. So it tells you that we have certain aspects of our country where people have been trained or they've been conscientized or they are being prepared such that if you take a tip, you'll be sanctioned. And they are all Ghanaians, like the policeman or the DVLA officer or the passport officer. It's because sanctions cannot be applied and enforced.
Right.
And so we need to come to the position whereby these institutions, they are clearly directed. And Ghanaians are made to know that if an officer takes something from you on this number, just give us the name. And within 24 hours, like their economy, you will see an investigation and an action.
Right.
And with that, we can bring sanity, because it's so appalling that, yes, there might be corruption in this country. You cannot eliminate it entirely. But where the corruption is so blatant and is staring in our face,
that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Right. I know we run out of time, but I want us to briefly touch on the budget, because the debates are heated in Parliament. I mean, the accusations of trying to buy luxury jets, using 1.2 billion, and there are questions about mathematics and all of that. Kinky, I mean, really.
Well, I think that it's an interesting debate which is going on in Parliament. For me, I think that the budget is a good budget.
Right.
I have no doubt in my mind the intentions of government with regards to the budget statement. I am always interested in jobs. Well, that is what the youth want.
Right.
In all this big language, all that, what they are interested in, what do we get in terms of job? Don't forget, our unemployment rate has gone so high. And day in, day out, many more graduates are coming out. SS graduates, university, and what have you, TVET, and they need to be employed. So if you look at the budget, you will see that government expects at least 800 jobs.
800,000.
800,000, sorry.
Right.
800,000 jobs will be created in various sectors of the economy. Big push will create some, industries will create some. Many other areas will create jobs. There could be more. So I think that the initiatives targeted at creating jobs are very laudable. We know also that our roads are very bad. If you travel to several corners of this country, you understand the nature of the road. Is that terrible? I recently traveled from Bogatua to attend the bar conference. In fact, look, in some areas I got stuck. And community people had to, come and help. It is just terrible. So when you see the president say, and budgets for the construction of Navrongo Road, I say, hallelujah. You see, so there are the areas that we need to look at to develop this country. If you cannot move goods, the farmers cannot move their farm produce to markets, then what are we doing? You see also Farmer Services Center that, which was part and parcel of the NDC campaign. Provision is being made for the establishment of the first 50. Let us not pretend that we can establish all of them at the same time. We cannot. So, as a start, 50 centers will start, including my constituency, Bongo. And I was so happy that when I found out Bongo is included in the 50.
Right.
Because the people are engaged in agriculture. There will be machines. There will be insecticides and all the things that you need for effective farming. That is great. So there are many things that one can take away, from the budget. And after debate in the budget, it is good because the opposition will try to point out some of the things that could have been done better in their view, and then some of the things that they think will not be successful and all that. But that is good. That is the beauty of democracy.
Right.
We will take those into account, and maybe subsequent budget, we see how we will improve upon them. Right. So I see the debates to be normal. Yeah. Regarding the allegation of presidential jet, look at the budget statement and see whether there is anything mentioned about presidential jet. What is in the budget says that is to the effect of 1.2 billion within 4-year period for retooling of Ghana Air Force. You don't equate Ghana Air Force to presidential jets. That is not the situation. So sometimes the language that you use, and if there's no correction, especially on the floor of Parliament, it goes to you may mislead the public. I'm sure that was what brought about a lengthy disagreement on the floor of Parliament yesterday. It's the language.
So he says it's the language, but among the language and things mentioned, we are told by your colleagues as well that now Kinky is selling at 7 cedis, among others, and things are not as good as we have been told by the NDC.
In fact, my brother has made my day where he started from.
Okay. And
I'm debating this afternoon. So and the crust of my debate is centered on where he started from. What is the end result of this whole budget?
Jobs.
I'm coming from Efia, he's coming from Bongo. 80,000 human beings had applied to go to the Ghana Armed Forces because of jobs. How many people can the state absorb? So if the state cannot absorb because the government doesn't have the capacity to absorb the growing, teeming unemployment, almost over 2.5 million youth unemployed, what does the budget say about job creation? Does the country, including the government, have statistics as to where the unemployment situation sits? Because you should know per your data that I'm producing these graduates. And so if I'm producing graduates and the state can only absorb 10% of the graduates, where does the 90% go? They go into industry. They go into manufacturing. They go into service. What is the state doing to promote manufacturing, service, and industry? What does the budget say? 800,000 jobs that he talked about, they are going into construction.
There is provision for manufacturing. Remember, fabrics, garments, factories will be established.
3
garment factories. Look at the budget. 27,000 jobs are supposed to be created. 27,000 are supposed to be created under the 3 garment factories. So it is not true that it is only construction. You know that.
I didn't finish.
Go on, please.
Even the garment factory, Kakrana Yewanangsa have collapsed. The ones that we have, we gave them tax exemptions and zero rating continuously every 3 years review, including this year you have reviewed, and yet they are collapsing. And you are telling me that you are now, if wishful statements, and that is all I see in this budget.
Wishful statements.
The finance minister only comes to tell us what they wish to do, but we end up doing very little. In 2025, you will hear me today on the floor. In 2025, all the indicators that the Minister of Finance promised to deliver in 2025, we missed them. What the finance minister has been able to achieve are the macro indicators. Oh, inflation has come down. Foreign exchange has come down. This thing has come down. Where is it in the pockets of the Ghanaian, including your people in Bungu? That is why you were talking about unemployment.
But so you see, now that inflation has come down, the people we master the record. I am saying that if inflation has come down, do you not know that the value of the money is now better off
There's
than
no
it used to
purchasing
be.
power. You say money.
Yeah, it is
Your
better
guy
off.
cannot buy the food. You are saying purchasing power. Wait.
The cost of rice has come down. The cost of fuel has come down. We used to buy fuel at a rather rate. Why can't they buy? They are being paid.
You sit there, relax.
You can't say there's no value when there is value.
No. I'm saying that the indicators are good.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not translating.
The guy doesn't have a job.
How much were you buying fuel?
The guy can't buy a car. How can he go and buy fuel? Your guy is unemployed. The people from Bongo and Ifia, they are not unemployed. So even if fuel price comes to 10 cities, he doesn't even have the work to do. He doesn't have, and you know that inflation and all of these indices, they are pegged on purchasing power. If you create more jobs, and people get more money, and purchasing power goes up. It is not all the time that inflation and the rest are positive.
So that is why there is provision for creation of jobs. That is why there is provision. The Farmer Services Center.
Let him learn.
No, we have to correct it. When the Farmer Services Center goes to Bongo, the people will be employed. They will engage in farming.
I'm saying that until we come back next year, wait. If I come next year on this same show with you, and you prove to me that they have established it in Bongo, then you are talking. And that's why I'm saying that in 2025, all the things that Ato Forsen said he was going to use to create the jobs, he has not. Did he tell you the number of jobs he created in 2025? No. How can you tell me you created 800,000 in 2026? When 2025 is ending, you couldn't tell me that you created 300,000 jobs. How can you tell me in 2026 that you are going to provide women's banking 400 million, when 50 million you promised to set up in 2025, you didn't pay? So you are only
But Council, you understand a budget.
Yes.
A budget, like every other budget, is your expectations of the revenues
Now
you get
and
how you intend to spend it.
So I'm saying that
You
before
understand?
you tell me
That is
what
the
you
budget.
spend, so that's the budget. So before
Your
you tell me-
expectations of
Thank
your
you.
revenue over the
Thank you very
period
much.
and how you intend to spend it.
So I'm saying
This-
that
the
you
finance
already gave
minister
me
says
2025 budget. Don't go. Wait. You told me 2025. You're thinking for 2025. 2025 has ended and you have not done it. Then you are saying that I should continue to follow you to 2026.
I mean, there are achievables.
What have you achieved this year? You today, be with me on the budget.
No, I'll be there. I'll be in the parliament.
And the commitment is that next year, God willing,
We will come back to
here.
this Bongo.
We will be here. We will come.
Bongo.
So note that and make sure you bring us. We will come.
Your
Definitely,
Bongo.
a year
Your
on,
Bongo.
we'll get to understand whether or not.
I will start sending you pictures of the Farmer Services Center from Bongo where it
I
comes.
would love it and more.
Right. Well,
I would love it
We're
and
hoping
more.
for the best. But gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Charles Bawadua is Member of Parliament for Bongo, and then Isaac Abuawanyako, who is also Member of Parliament for the good people of Efia. And next year, 2026, God willing, we'll all be alive and we'll be here to test this particular provisions in the budget.
30 seconds.
Okay.
You see, we don't want anybody to mislead Ghanaians.
Right.
I am not against Ghana buying an aircraft or helicopters. What we are saying is that if you budget to buy 4 helicopters and 2 aircraft at approximately $1.2 billion, we never said, and I will never say, that you are going to pay for it in 2026.
No.
Because already the budget said you do that in 4 years.
Exactly.
So you have already made provision in the 2026 budget, the 2.5 billion Ghana cedi, to pay for parts, and it is at capex. When you say capex, you are talking about capital expenditure. An aircraft is a capital expenditure.
Yes.
And so not all will go to the aircraft, but substantial. That's why if you take the 2025 budget, there was not much provision at capex for the Ghana Armed Forces or the Navy because they don't intend to buy aircraft. So all we are saying is that if you budget 2 aircraft plus 4 helicopters, totaling $1.2 billion, and then you are going to spread it over a 4-year period, what rationally you could do is that why don't you do it 2 and 1 so that you can save us about $600 million and push it into the productive sector that I'm going to debate on today with you, where we have hotels. Hotels are collapsing in Ghana. People don't even have money to go and check the budget. I'll show you. Hotel hotel has dropped. The service industry have dropped.
You see,
Industry has dropped.
in the Ghana Armed Forces today,
We are finished.
they virtually no, listen to me. You must listen to me. In the Ghana Air Forces today, there's virtually no aircraft.
So you need 4 at a time.
That is why it is 4 years.
It is urgent to do.
It is a 4-year period.
The debate continues in Parliament as well. But gentlemen, thank you so much for coming once again. This is still the breakfast review segment of GA Today. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. We're right back after this break. Stay with us. Shiraz, Champion Kekeli, and Champion Hillary. We're going to add champion to your names this morning. But how are you guys doing?
We're doing fine.
Right.
Nice to see you today.
Absolute pleasure. So talk to me. How does it feel being the 2025 World Champions? Shiraz, let's start with you. How does it feel?
So being the 2025 World Champions is a big step for me as a young person as myself. Because no matter how young you are, you can always make a difference and be champions like us.
Okay. Hillary, we were told, ladies and gentlemen, you're the world champions. How did that come to you?
At first, I was actually very shocked because I didn't know I could actually get that far. But by the end of the day, I'm so happy. So I think all my hard work was worth it.
Hard work, worth it. Kekeli, have you recovered from the shock yet?
What shock?
You really got shocked? I mean, when we were told you're the winners, you had emerged as winners.
I was not shocked.
You were not? Why? You really knew you were going to win?
No.
So how was the feeling like?
Normal.
Kekeli? Very normal. It was normal for you?
It just seemed like a normal day.
Kekeli, he's too smart.
He just takes everything with the chill vibe.
Oh, so he's one of those geniuses who, it's normal. I just got 9.5 out of 10. It's normal. Whereas the entire class got 5.
2.
Okay, so I mean, what was the study routine like, Shiraz, preparing for this and making sure that you're getting into this?
Actually, when I was studying, all I actually really did was just get questions from our workbook and then answer them. That's all I really did.
Oh, just pick the questions.
Yes.
Answer them.
Yeah.
Put yourself in the mood, and then go and shine.
Yes, and I also printed some of the past questions from
Right.
like 2019, 2023, 2016, and then I did them.
Right.
Because usually some questions will come, but then they will be different a bit.
Okay. Hillary, was yours different?
Yeah, something like that, but I also did the same. For me, I actually, in our textbook, they had a topic we had to learn, so I went about every single thing. And then I also did all the past papers. I think after that was all.
That was all.
And I kept repeating as well.
Yeah. Kekeli, was yours different?
Yes.
Hey, what did you do? Now I'm interested.
I just took in the notes for a few minutes.
You just what?
I just took in the notes for a few minutes.
Few minutes?
Yes.
And that was it?
Yes.
Hey, Kekeli, where is your brain from? Can I get some of your brains? So while people were preparing and going through, it just took you a few minutes?
Yes.
Kekeli, what do you want to be in future? I'm really interested.
I really don't know.
We'll come back to you.
Because actually, I have my textbook with me and we're answering some questions.
Yeah.
And Kekeli didn't even have to work out. He just said the answers without even working out anything. I was like, hey, wow.
Yeah, we're like,
Charlie, what's your secret?
I don't know. He's just like that.
No, but this is amazing, and I want to find out exactly in terms of preparing you for this. How did the teachers prepare you? What role did they play in making sure that you were real prepared for this exam?
As for me, how do I say it? They make the questions in a way you can understand. So they'll teach you in a way that you want to do it. Then they'll slowly make you see it as how it's supposed to be done. So that you can easily understand it.
So they break it down for you. They don't make it complex. They really bring it to your level for you to assimilate it easier. Yeah. Right. What about you, Hillary?
Okay, so for me, I like the way they also use the past questions to help us out. Because when I realized that, I saw a lot of past questions in the actual test itself. And then they helped me a lot because when I did it, I'm not afraid to tell them I don't understand.
Okay.
I can actually go to them after school and ask them, because I would need like help. So
Yeah. I want to believe Kekeli didn't need any teacher. Kekeli, what would the teachers play?
They just told me what exactly to do for each of the questions. And you're supposed to work out. That's it.
So once they said that, you were good to go.
Yeah.
So approaching the exam on a scale of 1 to 10, what was your confidence?
I don't know.
You don't know whether you're confident or not.
I just 5.
Hey, 5 in Pony.
my own was 1.
Why, Hillary? Why 1?
No, because I didn't know I can actually do it. Because, I don't even know. I was scared. I was very scared. And I was even praying to at least get P2 and above, not knowing I'll get P3 and also be the highest in the world.
Wow. Wow. Shiraz.
As for me, my dad just said, stay proud and believe.
Your dad said, stay proud and believe. And so what did that do to your confidence?
Boosted it up to the maximum.
Wow. Wow. You have something to say to that?
Just say 10.
You just
But
give it
10
a
out
10
of
and move
what?
on, right? Right. Okay. So now, so Kekeli says he's not decided yet because I'm sure the options are just too many. What he wants to be in future. Shiraz, off air, you told me what you wanted to do, but what's your aspiration after this? Now that you have this global recognition of being a super shark, what's the aspiration after this? What next should we be expecting from you?
And you should be expecting like not just science, but the things that I usually struggle with, like language.
Okay.
Usually, I'm not that good when it comes to things that are language like French, Ga, and then I also have some problems with English. So after school, I'll go with my uncle, and then I'll learn every single day after school. On weekends, 2 hours, and after school, 30 minutes.
Wow. To improve language, Ghana, English, French.
And also for other
subjects. For other
subjects.
things, absolutely. Hillary?
For me, is to also like get the same achievement, but in checkpoint time, and not just for math, but for science, English language, and maybe ICT.
ICT as well. Okay. Kekeli, what's your favorite subject? All the subjects are your favorites. Now I want to give up on you. What's your favorite subject? I'm curious.
Math.
Okay. So what should they expect from you after this?
I don't know.
Is it usually like this?
Yes. He didn't used to be like this. He used to be talking to me all the time.
One thing about Kekeli is that
Talk
when
to me,
he's
talk to
with his friends, he's always so happy.
Expressive and all of that. But when the friends are not there, then Kekeli calls into his shadow. And then I don't know.
Sad.
And he doesn't even want to smile.
Yeah, but today he did one. He did one earlier. And I'm sure now he's back to default mode. So what would be your message out there to young people like you who say, oh, looking at Shiraz, looking at Kekeli, looking at Hillary this morning, I also want to excel at the global stage. What would be your message to them?
My message to them is that never say you have limits, because limits are only walls you build. So if you only believe and never doubt yourself, you can always make it.
Wow. Hey, who told you that?
I learned from my uncle.
Hey, your uncle must have a lot of...
His father was my uncle and my mom, their father was very strict. So
okay.
They learned a lot.
A lot. Hillary, what about you?
So if you believe, you can achieve. It doesn't depend on who you are, your status, maybe how, like your age or anything. As long as you are determined to do something, and you know that if I do this, I can do that.
Yeah.
You can achieve it. So.
If you believe, you can achieve. Kekeli, do you have something to tell them as well?
Mind your own business. I'm not your mother.
Really, Kekeli. Yeah, but they should focus on their books. Do you do fun stuff aside school?
Yes.
Yeah, you dance. Shiraz?
As for me, I just call my friends and then we go out.
You go out. Hey, you like chilling?
Yeah, I go out with Sherrod. We
Hey.
invited Kekeli, but Kekeli never come.
Kekeli won't come. He won't come. Next time, invite me. I'll come. Kekeli
Yeah,
won't
I'll
come.
invite you.
Invite me.
Invite me.
But guys, I'm super happy and proud of you. You're doing so well. And this is just the beginning. I'd like to see you guys at the apex doing the things you love and making the impact on the world. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. And your parents are watching. Shiraz, your message to them. Look at the camera. Look in the camera. Say something to them.
I'm grateful for all the things you have done and always believing in me.
Absolutely. Hillary?
Thank you. As well, I already started saying this at home already, so they know everything I'm
They
saying.
know. Okay.
So I
Okay.
just want to tell them I love them.
Oh, so sweet. I can't wait for my daughters to go on TV and say, Daddy, we love you. So, oh, my daughters. Kekeli,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes.
You don't even look at them. All right,
Give them a
so
smile,
Hillary, Kekeli, and Shiraz, thank you so much. You're making your school proud, Alpha Beta Education Centers. You're making the school proud, and we are proud of you. Young, beautiful people making strides on the global stage. Thank you for coming. Shiraz, high five. You're the closest to me, so you get this. All right, guys, we'll be right back after this break. Stick and stay with us. is that government is even prioritizing this next conversation, that we need to grow homegrown chicken, enjoy chicken made in Ghana, and stop the other one. That one won't talk plenty about it. But we're talking about a glow chicken. And for those of you who can see my tables already, it's getting really, really beautiful. And today, you're very quiet. But to help us talk about our glow chicken is a marketing officer of the company, Manuel Christian Amwa. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
You're looking really healthy, isn't it?
Charlie.
Because I'm not doing.
Then you should try some. You should try some.
I will. But talk to me about our glow chicken.
Okay, so our glow chicken is actually under the umbrella of Aglo Farms. So Aglo Farms has actually been in existence for the past 30 years. That's 3 decades.
Wow.
Yeah, and for the past 2 years, we decided to enter into the poultry industry. As you said earlier, that's one of the demands of the government to bring locally raised birds. And so for the past 2 years, we've been in that space trying to add up to the supply, the local supply of processed chicken locally here in Ghana. And so I think monthly, we do currently 200,000 birds monthly. But annually, we are doing over 2 million birds for a shift. So in a whole year, we have 2 million birds being produced.
Wow.
So we also have, off-takers, institutional off-takers, which come for some of these products and they sell.
Right.
And I told someone earlier that if you are a lover of KFC Ghana, you are enjoying Aglo chicken indirectly. Yeah, because we supply them also.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So there's a very big vision which we are trying to see how best we can scale up and make sure others also have this feel of locally grown processed chicken with a very excellent taste. And also we are also in conjunction with partners like the MasterCard Foundation.
Okay.
We're in partnership with Agri Impact, AfriGem. We all came together, and then with their help and their support, for the past 2 years, we've been doing excellent in the poultry industry.
And I'm quite curious about the fact that you mentioned that, Aglo chicken is under the umbrella of Aglo Farm. So you're looking at other things as well in the agricultural space. But why decide to do chicken or poultry in this way?
Yeah, so you realize that there's this notion or perception that anything that is locally produced is inferior, or it's not done properly, or it's not done well. So we decided that let's come back, look at what is lacking in the market space, and look at how we can best influence these things. And one of the major things you can see is packaging. Mostly, you get.
Because honestly, I have not seen chicken packed this way. When I first saw it, I thought it was just gizzard.
So we decided to look at one aspect, which is the packaging, and it's very attractive. You see this in the mall, and you think it's a foreign product, but it's made here in Ghana. That means it's possible to have something as excellent as this right here in Ghana. Also, to look at the freshness. That's one thing we are looking at. So you realize for the imported chickens, it stays over in what we locally call akukofos. Yes, it's over months and decades. But we decided that we can have a system whereby we can deliver to the consumer fresh poultry product. Yeah. So that's how we decided to venture.
Without the taste compromise.
No, without the taste being compromised.
Because some of these other ones, by the time you're done doing the soup, then it's kind of the soup inside. You're not seeing the wallow. But then I'm seeing this beautiful packaging. Talk to me about the processing. What processes does it go through before it ends up beautifully packed this way?
Okay, so we currently have 2 farms, one in Tuba, around the Kokorobite area, and we have one in Abasa, which is around the Gomoa Central District. And we bring them from the...
So this is how your factory looks like?
Yeah.
Hey, the chicken, they're in some air-conditioned place, so they're in a designer house. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we bring them from the farms.
Very hygienic as well.
From the farms to the processing plant, where, as you can see on your screens, if it's on your screens, we go through the processing. So we do the defeathering, we do the debeaking, we do the cutting of the legs and the separation of the fat, evisceration and all that. And then we package them and keep them under very safe, hygienic conditions. We have certifications locally from the FDA, FSSC, that's food safety system certification.
Right.
And all these, it makes even the product exportable, so you can export them to other places. And we are very keen on the health benefits of the product. So keeping it very clean, keeping it very hygienic.
Right.
Yeah. So
Wow. And I need to commend you on the system that you've put in place, because usually if you want to buy a poultry product out there, you know how it's done.
Yeah.
They use some things to bend.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you know
fertilize
that
it.
looking at all that, we decided that okay, why, as you said earlier, you go to the market and they are burning with stuff that sometimes compromise even the taste, the quality of the product at the end of the day. So we decided that we can have a system whereby we have these done under very hygienic conditions. Yeah.
Wow. And so now I see that we have two variants on the table in the studio as we speak. I see that you've also, there's some separation of parts.
Yeah.
So gizzards are separated. Talk to me about the packaging. What varieties you do have?
What we have currently is the family pack. So when you look at the family pack, we are having 2 full beds, which we've already cut into parts. So this one's not like you're going to go home and now go and cut.
Go and look for some.
We've done everything, make sure it's clean, the 2 full beds, and we've placed them in a pack. So it's going for 150 Ghana cedis.
2 beds?
2 beds, yes. 2 full beds for 150
now one
Ghana
bed for the
cedis.
market, how much is it? People don't like money.
So that's it. And we have the gizzards also.
Okay.
So the gizzards, you know, one thing we realize with the normal gizzards we get sometimes on the local market, you realize that you have something fat all over. You have to go back home, wash. We've done all that. We've taken care of that whole process. So what we do is we clean them perfectly, then place them into a neatly packaged pack. So actually, as December is approaching, we are planning on adding 2 new products. So we are planning on adding the wings. We are planning on adding the thighs, the leg quarters. Yes. So by early December, that too should also be ready.
So in anticipation of the Christmas, where we don't want to be slaughtering, we just want to enjoy the meat already done. This is our go-to.
Yes, this is your perfect go-to.
And so the family pack will have the...
So the family pack, you're having the thigh, you're having the feet, the gizzard. So every part of the 2 beds in 1 pack. Yeah.
So every part of the bed, beautifully done in 1 pack. And this whole pack going for 150 Ghana cedis. Me, I don't understand. Wow. But it's interesting. And so... okay, you know what? Me, I'm very cocons. You see, it's not necessarily just me, right?
Yeah.
It's the nature of my job. And wow. So this is 2.5 kilograms of chicken. It's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
Wow. And you can tell clearly that the meat is...
Yeah.
Someone told me something about poultry, that if you want to see good meat, the meat should not be too red.
Yeah.
Too white. And this is what I see here. And I see halal also written on it.
Yeah. Wow. So you know, for our Muslim brothers, you know, there's an indication that the product is good for them to also consume. Yeah. So that's why we have that also on it, and we also have the FDA number also on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With safe handling instructions and all of those things. And this is fresh chicken broiler.
Yeah.
So you know that the meat is very tasty. And how do people get to get these wonderful packages?
So we currently have an outlet opposite the Latrade Fair. Yes, and you can just pass by if you are close. We also do deliveries anyways.
Okay.
Yes, we also do deliveries in and around Accra. So Tema, Accra, Kaswa, anywhere around these environments, we do deliver to your home. So you don't have to even stress coming all the way to our outlet.
Location is not a problem.
Location is not a problem for us.
The chicken can come to you.
It can come to you straight to your home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So as we are getting into the festive season, people are planning what they should be looking at and all of that. This is convenience.
Yeah, convenience. Yeah.
You don't have to struggle with looking for someone to come and debeak and defeather and do all those things.
We are taking care of all that for you.
It's for the single ones too. They don't have to stress. Just open it and put it
inside. Yeah.
So aside this, what other products are we looking at from Aglo?
Yes, so as I said earlier, we are looking at introducing onto the market our wings. So you have another neatly packaged set of wings for you.
Here when it's in soup is different.
It's a different feel altogether.
Right.
So we are looking at having that also, and we are, you know, one of the things we enjoy a lot in this Christmas time is the thigh and the drumsticks. Yes, for your sumptuous jollofs and your rice. So we'll be having that early December. That will also be ready.
As well. Fantastic. But if you want the family pack, it contains 2 full chicken. I mean, the breasts, the thigh, everything is in there, neatly washed and also procured for you for your convenience. And the taste is close to none. And the good thing is that all these birds are grown here.
Yeah, grown here in Ghana.
They are not birds that are imported. We are not importing the parts.
Yeah.
Aglo is making sure that all these from the farm to your table.
Yeah.
And you know, Yenri Ghana Nkoko. We need to chew chicken made in Ghana. And for the Muslim brothers and sisters, Ibrahim, you don't have to worry. This is halal. It's halal. So it's exactly what you need to consume. Healthy meat made in Ghana. And that's what we are about this morning, also promoting Ghanaian businesses. So what will be your final words out there? So aside the fact that I'm taking the family pack home. Yeah.
that's yours. That's yours anyway. So my final words will be just pass by our outlet. You can also follow us on Instagram, Aglo Chicken GH, and also on Facebook, Aglo Chicken GH. You can also give us a call on 059 321 5687. 059 321 5687. Yeah, and we are sure to give you nothing but fresh, authentic Ghanaian, locally raised chicken. Yeah,
Charlie, my appetite has been too much for this morning. But thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
So it's Aglo chicken. That's what we are eating for Christmas. And thankfully, he says the family pack is mine. So my wife is watching. My wife also knows that I'm bringing family pack home. And then tomorrow, I'll come and tell you the taste. You know, as for me, the taste no lie. Oh, can my director keep quiet a bit? The gizzard will not go to you. I'm sorry. But you know what? Right after this, we'll be telling you what you need to eat and what not to eat to be able to avoid diabetes. Chicken, chew it. It won't give you diabetes. All right, so thank you so much for staying on with us. We've talked about chicken, but it's time now to also talk about health matters. And today we are focusing on diabetes. I'm sure that a lot of people have heard about it, and you have questions about what not to eat, and anything that bothers your mind regards diets and diabetes. And so today on the show, we're going to get into the conversation. And my guest is a registered dietitian. She's Esumaba Sewa Assam. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well.
Fantastic. So I see an array of foodstuff here, and we'll be getting to that. But talking about diabetes, where do we stand as a country, Ghana?
So in Ghana right now, about 6% of adults are living with diabetes. And these are people who have actually reported in the hospital.
Wow.
So we could be having more who are suffering from diabetes and they're not aware of it out there.
Wow.
Yes.
Scary. But then what are the signs that show that, well, you might have to go check for diabetes?
Yes. Okay, so the commonest one is frequent urination. So urinating too much, it's quite concerning. And this is also associated with frequent tests. So you're drinking too much water. And also we have unexplained weight loss. So this type of weight loss is not a type that...
You are deliberately losing some kilos.
You are deliberately, and people are saying you are doing well. People are actually concerned. What's happening? Are you okay? Are you all right? And there's a general unwellness, like your body, you feel there's something wrong with your body. Yes. And then when it comes to labs, when you do your labs, your glucose levels are usually high. So we have the standard lab, which is HbA1c. When you do that lab, and we identify that you are not within the normal range, then you can be diagnosed for diabetes.
Wow. And so I see, like I said, an area of food. What's the relationship between what we eat and diabetes?
Okay. So what you eat can influence your blood glucose levels. Either it would make it go up, or it can remain in the normal range or accepted range, or it will drop low.
Right.
Yes, so that is the impact, the influence of the meals that you eat. So it influences your glucose levels, either making it go high, which is called hyperglycemia, or going low, hypoglycemia.
Okay, so the amount of food I eat, does it change anything? Because I know some people who say, oh, as for me, I don't eat much. So when I sit at a go, I finish everything and that's it. Others to say, well, I like to eat a bit of this, a bit of that, and that, and that's me being healthy. Does that influence anything at all?
Yes, actually, when it comes to diabetes management, one of the major important things that as a dietitian we look out for is your regular meal eating times.
Right.
So you are supposed to adhere to regular meal eating times, and the standard is usually breakfast, lunch, supper. Spreading the meal throughout the whole day.
You are in trouble.
Yes.
Because there are some who avoid breakfast because of their schedules. And so they eat heavy lunch and then they are done.
Yes. So for a diabetic patient, that is not recommended.
Wow.
Because we don't recommend skipping meals or fasting. It rather causes more harm. Your blood glucose levels will either drop and hypo would occur. And hypo is very dangerous. It's actually one of the complications that usually tend to fatality. You can die from that.
Wow.
Yes, and hyperglycemia is associated when all the time your blood glucose are high. Such complications such as poor wound healing, sometimes too, if you have any other chronic conditions like hypertension, kidney-related issues, it just throws it off. So these are some of the complications that can come up.
So talking about diets, healthy dieting as well, I've heard people who have said that, well, to eat the things that we're told we should eat that we're not eating back then, now they've become too expensive. So my healthy meal is too expensive to eat something that is healthy. So just go for what you can afford and move on. I see like a variety here. If you just walk us through, let us appreciate, for instance, for breakfast, what do I need to eat?
Okay, so for breakfast, we recommend, so we have usually people who go for light breakfast. So if you're the porridge kind of person, we have better options in like rather choosing whole grain cereals. So for here, we have the brown rice. So instead of the brown rice, you rather take the brown rice instead of the polished rice.
One.
Yes, because it has the fiber in there. And fiber is one of the major components of the meals that help control and manage your sugar levels. So your meal should be high in fiber. So we have that in brown rice. We have oats.
They'll complain about taste.
Brown rice. Oh, when you see a dietitian, we have ways we can teach you how to incorporate them in your diet.
Okay.
That will be much tastier.
Tastier.
Actually, people have worked out the office actually much more excited about their meals because now they know that they can eat healthy and within their budget, because you talked about
the budget.
So we look at all of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll go for brown rice instead
Brown
of
rice.
polished ones.
Instead of polished rice,
Right.
you can incorporate oats. You can incorporate wheat. So
Okay.
we can do wheat porridge. Yes, and even wheat, you can add it to your brown rice, so half and half. So you're incorporating fiber in there.
okay.
Or you can do half and half for your polished
The polished
rice,
rice and then-
and the brown rice, so that you can cut down the cost, but you know you're also taking in your fiber over there. Beans are also good sources of fiber. And when it comes to diabetes, one of the major concerns that most of my clients have is, can I eat ripe plantain? Can I eat plantain?
Yeah.
So the idea is you are supposed to go for meals that are high in fiber. So usually when it comes to plantain, the unripe ones are high in fiber more than the ripe ones. Yes, so we would recommend going for meals that require unripe. So your abom and your, plantain.
Yeah.
So that one would do.
Yeah,
And we want the
apim.
boiled one, apim. Yes, we are looking at that.
We like the sweet one, oh.
Yes.
Sweet and soft.
Yes.
Anyways.
And you should also be mindful of the refined foods.
Okay.
So there are some food that have been refined, meaning the fiber and other important nutrients have been removed from them. So we are not looking at that. We are looking at going for whole natural foods in their natural state as much as possible.
Right.
So 5 times in a week we are looking at this.
Hey,
Yeah. So the bread too.
I see bread.
Whole wheat bread instead of white bread or butter bread or sugar bread. That is if you are diabetic. If you are trying to prevent diabetes, you have to increase the amount of time you take your brown bread. If you're taking your white bread, you have to incorporate some vegetables in there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So, hey, Charlie, the thing I know is becoming some way for you because you're looking at the things you eat and enjoy, especially these days. The way now people feel as status. So get this for the kids and they think the kids are eating healthily. They are not. They are not
really eating healthy. If it's majorly,
Yes.
your meal majorly comprises this 7 times out of the week, this is what you are eating, you're not incorporating any of these high fiber foods, then you are not eating. It's poor diet or poor eating.
Okay. So we see vegetables here. I see fruits. I see water and what?
This is tea.
Tea. Okay.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
So these are healthier options. So usually the fruits, we usually recommend you replacing our sugar sweetened beverages, our pastries.
Okay.
These are complete flour. Fiber content quite insignificant, especially if you are diabetic and you're taking this, the fiber content is quite insignificant. So, and then the sugars in there too, the body changes the sugars, you have high blood glucose levels if that's, And we have the sugar sweetened beverages.
But they smell so nice. Yeah, the sugar SSBs.
Yes, so if you are the type of person at work, you go in for soft drinks, beverages, and you're adding some pastries there, some bread, some pie in there all the time, we would recommend that if you're trying to prevent diabetes or if you're managing diabetes, you replace it with healthier options, which are the fruits. So the fruits are in their whole state. So remember I mentioned whole foods.
Right.
So whole state, it has everything in there. So it's doing more good than harm, although it contains sugar.
Okay.
It has fiber in there. It has other helpful nutrients such as we have the phytochemicals, antioxidants, which protect your body itself. So you'd go in for the fruits in their right portions.
Tea and water.
Yes, tea and water. Alternative for your drinks. Coconut water too is there. The coconut water too is there. We also have smoothies. So for diabetics, we have special recipes for them for their smoothies.
Okay.
So sometimes you come across a client and they are taking smoothies all right, but these smoothies are comparable to somebody who is working out in the gym. When you go for gym and your smoothies the components are totally different.
Absolutely.
Everything is in there, so the calories are a little bit,
yeah.
So if you are diabetic, you have to consider all of these things. So special recipes are there for diabetics, so you can take the smoothies. If you're addicted to your sweet drinks and all that, you can replace them with smoothies. Healthier options.
Do teas have negative effects anyway? Because I know someone, right? She's watching now. She takes about maybe 3 to 4, not mugs, not like okpolu bowl of tea.
Tea.
And that's what's normal for her.
Okay, so for tea, the challenge would have if the person is drinking, so a tea bag a day, maybe a cup or two a day is fine, because it contains certain components that actually can interfere with nutrient absorptions, especially your minerals and some of your vitamins. So would you recommend consuming more than two excessively?
Her. She doesn't like, she likes that.
2 a day is fine.
2 cups, not mugs. 2 cups a day is fine. But I see a plate here with numbers, and I see wache with leaves and eggs and fish. Talk to me about what's happening on this table.
So with this table, I'm coming to demonstrate portion size or portion control.
Hey.
Yes. So with diabetes, controlling your portion sizes is very important. So when I talk about portion sizes, it's the amount of food that on a certain you can eat that you know that it satisfies you. So if your wife is giving you your meal, you know that, oh, this is okay for. Yes, so that's your portion sizes. Okay. But the issue is currently a lot of people are taking in portion sizes that's a certain amount of overeating. So that's mostly the issue is overeating with the portion sizes. So you are giving your body excessive amounts of either a particular nutrient, which is usually the carbs and the fats. Yes, so disclaimer here, portion sizes is not a one-size-fits-all for everyone.
Okay.
You cannot look at, maybe if you have somebody who has diabetes and has a diet plan, you cannot use that person's diet plan for yourself. Because it's kind of like customized for the person. Per their weight, their height, their physical activity, the medication they're taking. So this is where my expertise comes in, or dietitians come in. We do the calculations and we customize or personalize it for you. But I just want my viewers to check. So if your plate, usually we recommend that this is how the plate is. And I've tried to use the clock to try and. So we are looking at, when it comes to the major component in the major food groups. So we are looking at the carbs, the carbohydrates, the proteins, and the vegetables and fruits, so the fiber sources specifically. So we are looking at a fist size or 1 cup of the starches. So in your plate, it should be 1/4 cup.
Of what?
Of the starches.
Oh.
Yes, but we can adjust it if we calculate your portion size.
Exactly.
So somebody can be taking maybe 2 fists or 1.5. So somebody who goes to the gym will require more energy, so we might increase it. Yeah, a pregnant woman, we might increase it if the person requires it and all of that. So a fist size. So when you look at your plate, a fist size, so it's taking 1/4 of your plate. The proteins to the same 1/4. We are looking at lean proteins. So proteins that doesn't have a lot of fat in there. So we have eggs, fish, beans, these legumes. These are sources of lean proteins. And half of your plate should be your vegetables. So it can be like 2 cups.
See, people put the cups here, and then
So that's why I'm saying people are overeating. Because the carbs is the major source of the sugars in your blood. So if you have diabetes, we have to make sure you are taking the right amount for your condition.
So for instance, so just like it is on this plate. So half of the plate is vegetables.
Vegetables.
And then 1/4 is wache.
1/4 will be the carbs.
But what like before?
So that is why you have to see the dietitian. We calculate it and we try and. So we make your meals, we together, breakfast, lunch, supper, put together. At the end of the day, you should meet your daily requirements.
So that I do not overtake requirements from. So, and most of us do a lot of that. A lot of carbohydrates.
A lot of carbs.
Fufu plenty, then you buy meat one.
And the soup is like 1 soup ladle. No. So it's not only vegetables. So you know vegetables, we have the vegetable-based stews.
Yes.
We actually bless there in Ghana. We have a lot of our stews which are vegetable-based. Your garden eggs, your palava sauce kontomire, your cabbage stew, the light soups, the green soups, the okra stews. These are all vegetables. So if you are taking your banku and your okra stew, the okra stew is supposed to take half.
Then banku quarter.
Then your proteins, your lean proteins, quarter. So that's how we
You
are
keep saying
filtering.
lean proteins. What about the red meats?
So the red meat, you know, because some of our clients like red meat, so sometimes you cannot bargain with them to totally avoid it. So we recommend moderation.
Moderation.
And probably preparing it very well.
Right. Okay, so we've gone through the tables. You have a fair idea of what you need to do when it comes to the food you eat, especially to be able to avoid diabetes, or even if you have diabetes. But the key message here is that once you have a condition or you don't, make sure you get a dietitian to help you plan the meal, and so that you'll be giving your body exactly what it needs and not excess. Because the question is, if you're giving your body excess, where does the excess go?
It's usually, especially if it's carbs, it's either converted to a lot of sugar, your glucose levels go up, the complications start, or if it's fat, you put on weight.
Okay, I'm doing tummy tuck here, by the way. So what are we doing to celebrate or to mark the diabetes? I know we've been doing that since November 14. What exactly are we doing to create more awareness?
Okay, so currently at NAFOD Clinic, we are launching our kitchen project where we are inviting people with diabetes, families, chefs, cooks, people who cook in the house to come over so that we can teach them simple, healthier ways of cooking.
Right.
Yes.
So when is that happening?
So the first cohort is starting in December.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you reach out to us, we can give you the full information that you need.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure here. But what role does exercise play in all of this? Aside eating and all of these things, because some people have the notion when I eat a lot, I just have to exercise more, then it's gone.
Okay. So there are three major things. If you're diabetic, you have to look at your medication. You're taking it well. You're on the right medication. Your meals, your diet, as I've explained here, and the third thing is physical activity. So it's recommended that at the end of the week, you should have at least deliberately. So we recommend usually brisk walking. Deliberately, probably walk for 150 minutes. So that's like if you are doing 5 times in a day, 30 minutes after meals. You can do it early in the mornings after you've eaten, or in the evening after you've eaten. 30 minutes, 5 times in a day. Some people would want to do 45 minutes, 3 times in a day.
Right.
That should be able to help with controlling your blood sugars.
Fantastic. Yes. We're drawing the curtains on the show, but what would be your final message out there to our viewers this morning?
All right. So diabetes is preventable. You can manage it. It's a lot of people are living with it and they are managing it. So if you find that you find yourself in the categories when it comes to symptoms, you should see the doctor. You should come to the hospital and come and see us, the professional. So NAFOD Clinic, we are here for you.
Absolutely.
You can come.
And thank you NAFOD Clinic for this great job. And in December, the activity you're putting together, the kitchen project is a laudable one.
Yes.
And so, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you too.
She's a registered dietitian as well, helping us appreciate issues surrounding diabetes and the like. So thank you so much. And I'm happy that we are closing the show on a very healthy note. And remember, quarter carbohydrates, lean protein quarter, let the vegetables take the rest. Eat healthy, stay healthy, and let's keep doing this for Mother Ghana. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. Do have a wonderful morning.